No Janet Jackson this week.
Hmm?
No Janet Jackson this week.
Girl, we got terrible things for being Janet. I still got to look at that stuff.
You
We
just
are
have,
like,
you just have to mute it.
you're not monetizing. I mean, the majority of that video was like musical. But again, we used it for educational purposes. So you know where I'm at with that. So I'm going to fight the power of that beat. So that's just what I do.
Fight the power. You know I cracked the screen on my phone already.
Did you not buy a case with it?
Yeah, it's in the case, and
How
it's
did
got
you crack it already?
protection on it. But look, it's already cracked.
Phone killer.
I'll be needing a new phone pretty soon.
I don't understand that. And I've had this one for 400 years and it's nothing. Not a chip. I don't get it.
It is what it is.
Great show.
Thank you.
I know you didn't get to
All my
say
stuff.
all you had to say,
No, I did.
but what you did say was very impactful.
Hey, I had a lot more. The South had something to say.
The South has something to say all the time.
And I knew it was gonna be a lot.
I mean,
Oh, Natasha, how you doing?
the South is rarely silent.
South
I
no,
think they need to revise that.
no,
I'm
they.
down. I need a new adapter. This one is acting wonky. I have to go look for something. I'm one screen down. I don't know how I'm feeling about this
Why are you one screen down?
because this adapter is flaky on me right now. And when I plug it up, it's zapping so many resources that my mouse is like at a crawl. And then I got this new mouse that it has a switcher on it, so I can use it on 3 different computers.
I don't know why you set yourself up for failure.
I love it. It works. It goes from my office computer, my work computer, to my other work computer, and even my tablet.
I don't know. I don't use a mouse.
Best gadget ever.
Why do
For
you
me.
need? Why do you need a mouse? Why can't you just use the keyboard?
I use the keyboard as well, but I use the
I mean, why
mouse
you
because I
can't
have
use
so
the
many
trackpad?
screens.
Why you can't use the trackpad?
I need
I,
a mouse. It's too slow.
no, it's not.
It is. I like to click and scroll. I'm a scroller. Like I need that. I need to scroll and stuff. The mouse, this trackpad doesn't do anything for me. And then that other trackpad, it's just too plain. It's too vanilla for me.
You just make things complicated.
It's too vanilla. I'm sorry. I need a mouse.
Miss Phoenix, welcome to the membership. Thank you for being a 100K earner. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. So awesome.
Uh, 300K and 500K members, let me know about the videos.
I know.
I hadn't had any feedback on the videos. Let me go
We
look.
had our first monthly Q&A session for the 300K and the 500K earners, and so they were 2 totally different topics. So be sure to catch up on that. And even if you gotta take your lunch, if you're on the West Coast and you got to take a lunch break early, I mean it's a perfect time to get your questions in without having to schedule a one-on-one. So I would advise you to take advantage of that resource.
I'm actually responding to some people now. Somebody was like they interested in the boat runner strategy from episode 67. When are we gonna do a binary hustler?
I don't know. When are we going to do a binary listing? These schedules is looking, if it's a schedule, I'll be there. My life does not have room for a little too many impromptu things these days.
It means no. That means not today.
No, I said if it's on the schedule, I'll be there.
It's not on the schedule.
Like I said, my life doesn't have a lot of room for impromptu things, but if it's on the schedule,
That means again. Y'all see how this circle.
I'll be there.
You see this circle conversation.
It's not a circle conversation. I'm clear. I'm
Circle.
clear.
Circle that conversation. Or circle conversation.
I'm clear. And you know, you over there with a full schedule and a 2 hour time delay. So
What you mean?
hmm?
What you
What do
mean?
you mean? What I mean?
What you mean?
So say for instance, you want to go on it. You want to do a binary hustlers, and it's 11 o'clock at night. It's 1 o'clock my time. You're up. I'm going down. Not super funky fresh on a Tuesday.
What you need is to take your vitamins.
I have been.
And what you need is to get your little caffeine fix for 2 hours.
I mean, I've okay. So I've been like on this reset. So my caffeine, I haven't had. I don't think I've had coffee in about a week. I haven't craved coffee either, but I haven't had caffeine about a week, which is okay. I love me some coffee, but usually, like, especially on a Saturday morning, I have a cup of coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't understand the problem. What's going on, Stacey Lynn? What's going on?
Hey, Natasha. Hey. And I don't know if this is Natasha or Natasha, but hi to both. Hey, Stacy.
All right, you ready to get
Desi, Miss Phoenix's new member. Wet, wet, wet. Congratulations.
all right, you ready to get busy?
No, not really.
If so, you don't want to do a word from our sponsor?
I mean, I'm okay with the word from our sponsor.
I think the word from our sponsor is pretty dynamic.
I bet you do. The spokesperson looks awfully familiar.
Hey, what can I say? Somebody else didn't want to step up and do it. Somebody had to step in and
Oh,
do that thing. You know.
word from our sponsor.
Hey everybody, welcome to Women in Linux. I am Tam and Dee is in the background. And we just want to share with you some of the perks of being here on our channel. All right, so first things first, if you want to connect with us on social media, connect with us anywhere on social media at Women in Linux. If that's just too much for you, you can always come and find us on womeninlinux.org. And if that's not enough, we have even more perks where you can hit the connect button. Once you hit connect button, you put your email address in here, and once you put your email address in here, it'll connect with us in our Slack group. We have tons of resources in our Slack group. People looking for jobs, people just looking for advice, people looking for information, and so forth. Right. So again, this is Slack. It's not Discord. So on with using Slack, warn you, it is resource heavy. So you may need to use either the web browser, or if you're on your phone, you should be fine. But if you're on your desktop, and we know most of you connect on your computer, it's easier to open it up in your web browser so it doesn't take up so much memory or so many processes and so forth. That's just an FYI. That's how I use it. Okay. And if you would like to shop with us, we still have our stuff from our 5 year stuff. Still good. We're working on more t-shirts. No, no estate, no date. We're still working on that. But again, if you want to shop and you want to get some merch, feel free to come here and get some merch. Again, if you come over here and click on all products, you'll see on all the products that we have, from hoodies to masks and so forth and so on, right? And if that isn't good enough for you, you can donate. You can always donate with your time. you can donate with your money. So how do you donate with your time? You donate with your time by saying, hey, I would like to do a presentation, or I like to volunteer on helping us grow the channel. You retweet, you share this with other members. In fact, for those of you that come here every single week, we know you come here every single week and you don't subscribe, subscribe. That helps us grow the channel. That helps us get more content to you. Hey, research isn't easy. I'm not getting paid to do research. I wish it was at a university, but hey, I'm bringing this to you, right? I'm bringing this to you and us and for others, right? So if that doesn't work, you can always donate on PayPal by clicking the donate button. Once you hit the donate button, you have your own denominations in which you can donate. And if that doesn't work to you, for you can always reach out to D and you can cut a check and send a check. That works for us as well. All right. So, what are some other things that we actually do have as well? Right. So, we have a discount with IT Pro TV. You get 30% off. I've used IT Pro TV myself. I've done interviews with them. I'll pull those up as well too. But as you can see, I'm logging into IT Pro TV. What are the benefits here? You need to learn how you learn. So, one of the things you can do in IT Pro TV, you can come over here, you can click on courses, and it gives you a list of courses that's separating them out by certification and also separate them out by learning paths. You're like, Tamika, what does that mean? My four basic principles or my four basic foundations of skill sets that you should have is Linux. You should also have an automation tool, whether it's Terraform or Ansible. You should know at least a cloud. I don't care. Pick either one. And finally, last but not least, security. And security comes in multiple forms: security of the operating system, security of the application, and also security of containers, right? And cloud security. So it's multiple facets when we're talking about security. Those are your four basics that you're going to need to to get you a job and then move you up. All right. And we're going to talk about our membership here in another video, but I just want to get this out to you. All right. So that's 30% off of IT Pro TV. And last but not least, our Calendly. We have set up for our Calendly. Let me pull that up. I think I have it saved in my browser here, so I can just go straight to it. If not, I'll get it from D here. Here we go, right here. All right. So with Calendly, we have one-on-one sessions. That's where you get to talk to either me or D, and you can request either one. But where you get to talk to us in a one-on-one session, right? Interview prep. Some of you are getting ready for interviews, or you never interviewed before. We want to prep you for an interview. Resume review. Let's go over what you have, or let's pull all your skills together. Let's get things formatted properly. Let's get everything going. And last but not least, career assessment. What is your journey? What could it look like? What could you be going through? What are your next steps? Some of you are transitioning, some of you are not, some of you are looking to transition, and some of you are just trying to figure out what is your next step. So by saying all of this, we want you to enjoy your time here at Women in Linux. And also, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the share button, and last but not least, thank yourself that you actually did it. You're back.
I think I know this works perfect. She looks awfully familiar.
She does.
She looks awfully familiar. I think I came across her somewhere at a conference or something.
Yeah, she looks very familiar.
Very, very familiar.
Yep. I went to the website that she was talking about with the shirts and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, they do have shirts now. I was like, she's gonna have to work on her update. Her and her brand manager, they're gonna have to work on that. I was like, they behind. I don't know
A whole brand manager, huh?
Yeah, they gotta work.
Oh, okay. A whole brand manager. Well, I got on a classic Women in Linux tee right now with the Women in Linux.
Yeah, her and the brand manager
classic
is gonna have to work.
sand.
Yeah, they're gonna have to work on that. I was like, that's bad business.
Really? I know, I sent a note to the sponsor and was like, whew, when we gonna get that updated. But I'm waiting to hear back from their people on that. You know how it is.
Yep, I know exactly how it is.
You know how it is. You do what
just like when I was looking for a EA or a tax person or a state person this week, I know exactly how it is. Just
just Sometimes it's a waiting game. So, what we talking about today?
Oh, we talking about
Whatever
everything.
What is on the agenda? Because I know we had some, back chatter, and you have been mumbling about it all week. But I don't know if people know that a lot of the stuff that Tam comes up with is a surprise for me as well. And she's like, "Don't you want to read it?" And I was like, "Nope, I want to see it on the show."
Yep.
Because I'm learning as well. I think we are, like I said, we're growing together. So everything that we bring to this stage, we're learning together. We are learning together. So
So
hope you have your whole notepads ready.
don't we? Can we take a poll? Can we do a poll? I'm just wondering, like, do you? I mean, are you implementing? Do you enjoy the conversation? Like, should we switch it up? I don't know. I'll be looking for
What you
feedback.
know what? You are the worst teacher ever. What happened to the homework?
Which
We
one?
never we were supposed
Yeah,
to follow up
because
on the
no,
homework you
no,
give us like about a month ago.
well, no.
What
I
happened?
no, I followed up. Nobody has came forward.
Oh, so we putting it back to the people.
Yeah, I asked about do people have their $5 million plan, their $10 million plan, their $20 million plan, and we have the Q&A sessions. We have Slack. I ain't seen that now and plan.
So
So
what you telling me is we get up on here every Saturday.
mhm,
Saturday morning. I ain't had a free Saturday, and I'm not gonna tell that feel because I
yeah,
had one the last week. No, I didn't. I didn't. I was there. I was there for the first show. I ain't had a free Saturday in months and Sundays, and y'all ain't implementing nothing. And now I'm studying Linux as well, FYI, and I cannot believe people do not have not one question. Either you are totally confused or you know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing, we should be getting updates on certs, on certs, on certs, on certs, on certs. Period. And I'm just through on my first run through of the class. Third chapter, first run through. And I mean, my notes are just endless. Like, you had no questions? You had no flashcards? What we doing? What we doing about this money? You scared? Scared money don't make no money. You don't think you're knowledgeable? What's going on? What I need to know. I have questions. I'm concerned.
I bring up every week about retirement and uh making your money and so forth. I bring it up every week on both shows. Um, one show has one perspective, another show has just about earning your skills. This is more about getting the skills. And what does that look like? And how can you do X, Y, and Z and so forth. So hmm, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. So put a 3 in the chat if you started your homework, which was your net worth plan. Did you calculate your net worth? Put a 3 in the chat. Did you start? Are you lost? You need some help?
Yeah,
Talk to us. Talk
yeah.
to us. We
Well,
need to know. We need to
one
know.
one was to calculate your net worth, and then the other one was what's your retirement plan. And you're never too young to start your retirement plan. Now it may change as time goes on, but you at least need to have started. Right? That's just my thought. Let me see something here. Um, we are gonna get into the show. It's gonna be a lot of information. There are going to be things that if you're part of Anton's Discord, you might have seen some of this stuff. Um, if not, that's all good. But um, everything hasn't been shared there per se. Uh, What's the best path? Study with somebody. Come to the meetups every Wednesday. Tammy Alexander, that's my answer.
Somebody that is taking the class, go ahead and give Tammy a little direction. Help Tammy out. We're into group study. Even though I study in the twilight hours, um, if I'm going through my first run through for myself, so I because Tam is 2 hours behind me, I called her. I had a question because I was delirious. I needed a second pair of eyes. So um, you got to tap somebody in. You got to have a lifeline. Um, all you're gonna do is frustrate yourself trying to do it all by yourself. It just doesn't make any sense. We also have a video on getting started, and it's labeled the RH 120 RHCSA 124. Um,
RH, just
I
the
can,
RH 124.
huh?
Just the RH 124.
Oh, RH 124.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think that's what the video is titled.
Uh,
um, I know for me, knowing the tools that we had 6 years ago and the tools and the commands and what you need to know now is like night and day. So for people not to have questions, I'm confuzzled. Like I am totally confuzzled. Like for you don't have to want to go through notes with someone or like is there some command line stuff that we can do or what I need to know. But we had a great session on Wednesday. We started playing Linux games, um, and Tam is ruthless with it. She's old. I'm gonna call her an old head in the game when it comes to that because, of course, she did not have the tools that we have access to now in regards to studying. But going through these exams, I'm going through these guided exercises, and you have to be swift. So if you need to make yourself some flashcards, you don't know where to start with the flashcards. Um, you're not gonna learn it unless you're hands on keys. But some of these things to be able to be hands on keys, you have to know what those terms mean and how they work. That's just it. So definitely, Tammy, tap somebody in. We have some study groups. Um, they're all self forming study groups. Go in there, introduce yourself. We definitely push collaboration. Um, if you're going to be in a tech environment, it's just the nature of the team.
I hope y'all ready for this for today. It's gonna be a lot of information. I'm gonna have to take my time and put it in Slack because there's a lot of information and it's not in Slack. It's in Slack in my profile, but it's not in Slack. In the profile of like, hey, here are X, Y, and Z. And what we're gonna discuss today is jobs, scholarships, uh, jobs, scholarships. What else did I have in mind? Jobs, scholarships, um, how to get training, uh, just a ton of stuff. I hope y'all ready. I'm copying over some stuff that I was like, oh, that'd be beneficial. Oh, I can see how that would work. Blah 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 blah. All right, so I'm looking for one more thing, uh, because it was a job that I had posted. I think I posted it in our Slack. However, it was um, I think it was GDIT was hiring for, yeah, here it is right here. So let's start with these right here. It's GDIT is hiring, right? And there was a slew of them that was hiring. So we'll start here, and we'll start with this one here too. All right. So D, you ready?
I stay ready. If you don't stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Ready. But you don't you got a
Rob,
sprinkler or something?
Rob, I would go with RHCSA, but that's a personal preference. But I get it.
Trust me, what you learning online, if you taking like a basic Linux course
Well,
or you finding anything,
that's the CompTIA one.
no, I know that's no, the LPI is not the CompTIA one.
Oh, to my the
But
I'll
if
get
you
that
are taking
essential.
any of that, like just what is LS, what is copy, what is you are doing yourself a disservice. It's good to run through it, make you some flashcards off of that stuff, but Red Hat is the business. It's getting you prepared. No games, not a joke. Minimum study an hour a day.
LPI is old school, Rob.
It's old school.
Is when I say old school, they still around, but they're actually one of the first ones that had a cert. All right, so on the screen, as you can see, I'm still uploading. Let's go all the way back. Let's go back to the beginning. First off, we got shirts. The sponsor didn't include that in the actual description that they were doing. But shout out to the sponsor. They did what they could with what they had, right? So Linux money, uh, no estate, no date. I hate when I click on it and it don't automatically pop up. Like there we go. So see, no estate, no date. For those that got tanks and want to run out right now. And then got a T-shirt. Then one skill away from 200K. D, do you had is this come in different colors? Or just
It just the aqua and the gray. Those are the only two colors available in that
oh
tank.
they ain't have black.
Aqua and gray.
Mm. And then we got a T-shirt. I think I'm gonna get this one. Too broke to argue. I think I'm gonna get the cream color one. All right. So shirts are there. All right.
It's
So
bone. It's the same color as my shirt that I have on.
bone, cream,
Bone. Sand, actually. It's sand.
sand, bone. What's the difference? Sand, bone, cream.
You talk to Pantone about what's the difference. I'm not about to sit up there and have like a tone and
What is that?
shade conversation with you.
I'm just asking because you keep
You
correcting
know,
me. It's sand.
that's like what like I say, I'm
Cream.
mocha, and you like you're not mocha, and I'm like,
But you're not.
why are you debating my blackness and what
I'm
I
not debating
associate
your
with?
blackness. I'm debating on you keep calling yourself mocha and you not. That's
What
what
do
I'm
you define as mocha, Tamika?
debating. You not mocha then.
Pantone said I'm mocha, and I'm actually darker than mocha. So I'm Pantone is the authority on colors.
Giving me a headache. Mm.
That's all right. You'll be all right. It won't be your last one.
Look, you look. I know you don't believe that you Kiki Wyatt color, but you are. You the same color as Kiki. You the same tone as Kiki Wyatt.
Making me dribble on myself. I'm no.
You the same tone as Kiki Wyatt. I know you don't. I know you want to call yourself a mocha, but you ain't mocha. You're more like my color. You're not too far off. Brown sugar.
Mocha.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
darker
She
than
not.
you. Look in the thing. It's okay. It's okay.
I free. I can give her brown, but she not mocha. She keep thinking she
She
mocha.
said brown sugar, not
Yeah.
brown, brown sugar. Then it's dark brown sugar or regular brown sugar.
Regular brown sugar. You're
Dark
not
brown
dark
sugar.
brown sugar. Regular old brown sugar, paper bag brown.
Paper sack tan is what my grandmother called it. Paper sack tan.
All right, let's get busy.
Anywho,
Let's get busy. So first things up, a lot of you
make that
all.
bigger for us.
Hey.
Now,
That's that light skin talking. That's that light skin privilege.
immediately
That's light
for the
skin privilege.
people.
That's light skin privilege talking. That's that light
Yes.
skin privilege talking.
So disrespectful.
Light
Oh,
skin.
you're so disrespectful to the
That's
people of the Bennett
that
persuasion
light
out
skin
there.
privilege talking.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
It rears its head from time to time. All right, so again, this was sent over to me, and we talk about making money in tech, but we also talk about writing in tech, right? Writing blogs and so forth. So Redis reached out, saying, "Hey, we're thrilled to announce our new program, Write for Redis and Get Paid. This program is for people like you who would like to write something interesting and technical about Redis in your spare time. Fill out this application. We'll review your status and update your. You will publish your content on a per contract as a per contract and get paid. Get paid. So here's things that they're looking for, so forth and so on, and then you apply." Now the last time I had spoken to Redis, and then may have changed. They were offering, I think, anywhere from 500 to 800 per blog. So again, you want another
Per
way to,
post.
yeah, per blog. Yeah. So if you were looking for another way to make money in tech, just a little side, little hustle there, that's another way. Create an LLC, of course, and roll that under an LLC and use that as part of your business strategy to
And
create.
also aspiring technical writers.
Yep. Another one, Digital Ocean. They went away from writing, paying you to write now. You write and then they contribute the money to your favorite charity. I'm just putting it out there in case some of you want to write and contribute it to your favorite charity. I, for one, would like, I am the charity. So if you want to write for Digital Ocean and contribute to Women in Linux, we sure would love the donation, uh, and go from there. And again, you don't have to write blogs alone, right? So here they say they got topics, right, for donations. They give you a timeline. They say authors typically receive 300 per tutorial upon publication, and then the tech focused charity or nonprofit, right? So it could be a tech focused charity, a nonprofit of your choice, and then they'll donate. So that'd be another way for you to donate. Of course, that's a tax write off for them, but again, you get your name out there. You go on. You'll be out there on their particular blog or particular tutorial site, as a tutorial that people will follow.
Right. And I just want to add, as Women in Linux is a recipient of Digital Ocean's uh, nonprofit program. So, our website is hosted on DigitalOcean. So, if you're writing, those credits are, I can say that they are going to good use because nonprofits are receiving those credits and those go towards operational expenses. So, thank you, DigitalOcean. Thank you for the people that are out there writing it. Writing, they have a hub for good. So they are putting those dollars to use and they're changing up their structure in general. I think there's been some big changes over there at DigitalOcean and they're doing a lot of organizing on the back end. So check out their program. It's pretty cool. And they have a list of great organizations in tech that are doing good things.
All right. So, Tammy, Alexander, if you want to follow us on every Wednesday, meetup.com/women in Linux, and then join the meetup, and it'll give you the link. Just FYI. So here's a lot of people like, well, how do I get started with writing a blog? So I found a guide. There's several guides. There are several articles. I'm not saying this is the best one or whatnot. I'm just giving you something that you can follow, something to get your mind going, and then you can go do a deep dive for yourself. But our 8-step guide to how to write a blog post like a pro. What is a blog post? They go through that, types of blog posts, how to, a list based, a news article, an interview, a review, a personal blog post, an explainer, an image based, and then they talk about how to write a blog, how to set up your blog, your domain name, and all that. And again, you don't have to write for yourself. You could write blogs for other people. The other one too is I showed you the young lady that wrote technical blogs and she earned like $367,000 during the pandemic and CNBC Make It. And then there's the other one that does the little TikTok specials on how to use Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, and so forth. And she ended up getting sponsored by Microsoft just to do little TikToks on social media. So there's different ways to get paid in tech other than just being very technical. Here's another way to make money in tech, where you may go do interviews with people in various positions and write a blog about it and then post it. A lot of people do that. Um, a lot of people just go and find out what the meat and potatoes are, put it all together, put it out there as someone as something for people to follow as a direction, and then they just get paid off of that. They're just going through different job titles and putting that information out. All right. So D can drop this blogging without your own website. Choose your topic, write an outline, hook your reader, and keep them scrolling to the end. Give your readers a solid call to action. Don't forget to edit and proofread. Enhance your blog post with engaging, relevant images using an SEO strategy. And go to that and tips for writing a great blog post. Keep it conversational. Again, research trending keywords, cut down on walls of text, write whatever you write, do it with confidence, and then so forth. That's from Grammarly. And you can go through this if you want to. D, you sound like you want to add something. No? Oh, okay. It sounded like you wanted to add something.
Thank you for checking on me, though.
Yeah, the SL TikToker is making millions on blogs. Yep, making millions. The one from CNBC Make It. Let me see if I can pull that up on YouTube real quick. CNBC Make It blog. Let's see. Her right there, come up number one. Here she goes. She made 300. This came out in March 10th of 2021. She made 378,000 on Fiverr as a freelancer, writing blogs, technical blogs. So again, you all can you know find your niche, right? Um, that and go from there. I even thought about turning our weekly shows into a blog post, right? Based on all the information that we find and put it out there and turn it into a blog, put some SEO behind it, and go from there. We got enough information. We got enough links and stuff for references and so forth. Be killing it on the blogs. I may do a blog today. D.
Good for you.
I may do a blog today. D was like, good for you. You see that?
Good for you. You do
There-
a blog today. I will proofread it for you.
no, why don't you be a part of the journey?
Oh, I.
Why don't you be a part of the journey, D?
What do you? I mean, what do you need, Cynthia? What do you need?
Come up with a topic, go over the outline, find keywords, SEO, marketing.
I think that's after the fact. After you write it,
Yeah,
I
it
can do
is.
that
Yeah,
freely.
it is. Oh, but I forgot. We need to talk to the brand manager. We need to
Is
talk.
this your personal brand manager?
Oh,
You know,
now you're back. You're back.
what brand manager is that?
Hold on. Let me remove you again and pull you back. So when I remove you, I was just talking to D. Now I put you back. You're the brand manager. So brand manager.
I need something different. Like I need something different to be like brand manager. As brand manager is definitely a new title for me today. Um, you know,
Get busy. All right. D gonna drop that for you, Q4. All right. So that was one. So let's close. That was that. We talked about that. You can see here where I'm going. All right. So let me blow this up. Hey, got her coming on. All right, here we go. Here is a paid program through the Lord for anyone looking to get their foot wet or feet wet in cyber realm. However, this is already a highly competitive program, and you really need to stand out from your peers. They are paying $28 an hour for the entire training period. The high likelihood of getting perm of with the high likelihood of getting a permanent role. However, they do have a few prerequisites. Not sure what the entire 12 weeks entails. Part of the intro and cloud portions, or what the cyber paths. This gets you started on gets you started on, but a heck of a way to break through. Many of us are still looking, right? It appears they reached their maximum threshold for applicants and no longer looking. But I posted this in Slack earlier this week as well, but you can look at it. They're not accepting applications, but note that they got to notify when it reopens. Flatiron School and so forth. If you're not in Slack, I dropped this in scholarships. I'm gonna drop a ton of stuff today that I found as I go through here. I have nothing but scholarships, job opportunities. Next Friday, Dee doesn't know this, so this is new to her. Next Friday, we do have the director for SRE from Etsy coming on board to do it. He's going to be here for an hour. Dee, you've spoken with him before. Reggie, you saw on my LinkedIn thing that popped up. That's the director for AI and machine learning at AWS who's coming on. I have some Web3 people lined up as well too. We always talk about buying yachts and cars and so forth. I'm working on getting someone on board to come to talk about that. We're also going to start partly on binary hustlers, start talking about acquisition, syndication, and private equity. I have people lined up for that. I also have people lined up to talk about government contracting. We need to get Eric back on board. There's some things that we're working on there with government contracting and doing business development. So there's a lot going on. How do you fit the time in the day? I don't know. You just do it, right? You just do it. All right. So that was that post. Let's see. This keeps popping up. All right. I This is posted in Slack as well too. Extremely excited for 100% free online cloud security exchange event from SANS.org or SANS Institute. This is the first such event where the security leaders from Microsoft, Azure, Google Cloud, along with independent technical experts from SANS Cloud Security, coming together to share their perspective on building cloud security in capabilities and best practices for cloud security pillars. Join 1,000 of your fellow cloud security professionals to an already signed up registering online. This is August the 25th that they have this up. It's called the Cloud Security Exchange. It starts at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time and so forth. Coda Evelyn talking about D, they try to keep you out the loop.
all the time. That's why I said if it's on the calendar, I will be there. But my life, the way my life is set up right now, don't have a lot of time for any impromptu situations.
All right. What's free on a Cloud Guru for August of 2022? All right, so they came out. They have this month. We're offering courses on Azure Active Directory, GCP, and MongoDB. So if you hear some new additions for this month's batch of free cloud training, Azure Active Directory deep dive, hands-on with data flow, advanced Terraform on GCP, MongoDB deep dive. I'll give you this. You can go over there and check it out. Free Amazon training, AWS training. They're also giving that. They also talk about on this here the AWS skills among the top paying salaries, careers in the cloud. Let me see. These free courses you can get you where you want. How to secure the S3 bucket, choosing the right database service, Amazon Dynamo DB, AWS Essentials, Introduction to AWS EKS basics is Kubernetes. Introduction to AWS Marketplace, cost optimization and deep dive, identity and access management, building full stack serverless applications on AWS. Free Azure training, introduction to Azure security, Azure concepts, introduction to governance and compliance on Azure, introduction to serverless on Azure, Azure storage deep dive, Azure Active Directory deep dive, free GCP training, GCP cloud concepts, GKE, hands-on data flow, advanced Terraform on GCP, free networking, introduction to networking Azure, free Linux training, how to get a Linux job, and Linux operating fundamental system fundamentals. Free data and data science training, big data fundamentals, MongoDB, free DevOps and serverless training, DevOps concepts, serverless concepts, using Terraform to manage applications and infrastructure, cloud security fundamentals, free cloud training for beginners, cloud computing foundations, and so forth. This is all free for the month of August on a Cloud Guru. I'll post that in Slack as well too. Everything here I'll post after the show, so you can have it. It'll be posted. If it's training, it's going in training. If it's a scholarship, it's going in scholarships. If it's training, it's going in training. If it's scholarships, it's going in scholarships. Those are the two channels that I will be updating. So you give you a clear view of what we're going to discuss today, so that you can understand where I'm coming from and what we're doing. I don't know why this link is acting the way it's doing, but it is what it is. But here's what I'm going through today. So we get started from the top, going all the way down. Right, I got all of that to do today. Like I said, it's going to be a busy day. That's just what it is. And when I tell you, like, I don't finish everything, I don't get a chance to go through everything, I'll show you the show notes from the last episode. Right, I'll show you show notes from the last episode. Here are the show notes from the last episode. I didn't talk about the stuff that's going on in Atlanta. I got stuff that's going on in Texas. I got stuff that's going on in Huntsville. I got stuff that's going on in Seattle, all on here. But these are my notes. These are my notes. These are my notes.
They
And
got Invest Fest going on in Atlanta this weekend.
yep, yep. That was on the list.
Anybody going to Invest Fest this weekend with URL?
Mm-hmm. Tam, after you loaded Linux, what do you do next to become great? rem rf on slash. Remove dash rs on the root partition and see what, and then fix it, and then come back to it. Then you can get a job. Don't do that. You will destroy your system. All right, cool. I'm hiring for penetration testers for a client of mine who offer more than usual testing work, hacking drones, houses, ICS, SCADA work, really exciting testing, amazing variety of work, cert funding, conference funding, expert leadership. It's and I guess I'm assuming this is euros, right? Remote based, but again, I'm here just to offer you stuff. This guy, you can go follow him, Edward Carr, on LinkedIn. He posts a lot of stuff in terms of jobs that are remote based, but also USA, and UK based, right? USA and UK based, right? So that's that one. You may be looking for a job in the UK. You may want a different experience. I'm just bringing you options. All right, so that's that one. All right, Tanika asked you some cool opportunities. This was 3 days ago. Discovered this past week. Free certification boot camps, mentorship programs in the web development, data product development, DevOps, tech sales, and Python. If you're interested in free hands-on training, instructor-led coaching in data science correlation one is a DS4A program and is now open. Flatiron and Deloitte, I just talked about that. Azure Academy has a 6-week training for spatial data and science. If you love anything about predictive modeling, machine learning, deep learning, pattern and object detection. Class Central has 2 free 6-week boot camps hosted by Free Code Camp on JavaScript boot camp, and you'll learn JavaScript algorithms, data structures, and OOP, object oriented programming, and web development. Inclusive product management accelerator is a free 10-week PM program. Applications for fall cohort are closing soon. You will be a PM through weekly group sessions. You'll learn PM through weekly group sessions on PM principles, cases, and gain connections to PM opportunities. Google has launched 21 free cloud skills challenges, and you can learn about ML, AI, data analytics, DevOps, cloud, and data engineering. Uh, uh, Vigit is a 14-week remote paid apprenticeship. In other words, you're getting paid while you're learning across several roles, looking to accelerate their path in UI, project management, product design, engineering, UX, research, and more. You'll also join a paid retreats and have a coach and earn $8,400 with no experience. This expires on August the 7th. Today is August the 6th. Google Code Next applications are open. It's free for computer science program, black for Black and Latina X high school students. It's beginner friendly. Meet students in their community, and students will learn to build websites and apps. That was by August the 5th. Again, I'll be posting this. I'll probably post this in both in scholarships and training because it accomplishes both. Purple, I told Purple somebody to say something. Purple Girl, yes, you did catch us live. All right, the official cybersecurity summit founded in 1993. There is a cybersecurity summit. You can attend it live or virtually. I actually think they had scholarships for this. Let's see, speakers, keynotes. It was a reason why I brought this up because I think they had scholarships for this. I think there's scholarships. I gotta go find the scholarship. I think there's scholarships for this. Let me look it up real quick. Cyber Security Summit, Detroit, uh, scholarships. I think there was scholarships for this. I think there were scholarships for this. I can't find it right now because I'm under the gun right now. But I think there was supposed to be scholarships for that one. But anyway, at least you know there's a cybersecurity summit in Detroit, right? So that's one you can attend. And again, when you get these certifications, you all need CPEs, continuing participation credits, I guess, or earning credits or something like that. Anyway, you need continual education credit CEUs, but you have to maintain that certification. You have to maintain that certification. You got to come to it. You got to do it every year to maintain, be cyber aware or what have you. So you have to maintain that every year. And the CISSP is something this, and GIOC. I need to go look and see what all I need to do to maintain that too. I need to go back over there and make sure I'm maintaining my credits over there. I am cloud security certified. Da-da. All right, cool. All right, all right. All right, so we did the LinkedIn post, right? And we did this one. All right, so this is a job. Um, I always talk about the $100,000 sign-on bonus. I'll bring them up probably next week with some of those jobs that are offering that. But here we go. Solutions architect, new hire bonus up to 50,000. bonus up to 50,000. You would want to get the max. You would want to get the max. You would want to get the max. This is a solutions architect. They're looking for it's in Maryland. Secret obtainable within reasonable time required. So they're not telling you that you need a clearance. You need to be able to get a secret clearance. So if you don't have one and you have the skill sets, so this goes back to our Janet Jackson. Yeah, all right. Um, can you do you have the skill sets, or at least 50% of the skill sets to apply for the job? The Army Proving Grounds may not be where you want to be, but I mean, hey, if you can get a job that's paying you 175 and you get a $50,000 sign-on bonus, you can talk to them how they're gonna chop that up. 25 this year, 25 next year, whatever the case may be, or 25 now, say and 25 now, and then 3 months later another 25. Oh, however that works out, however you work that out. It requires a degree in, like I said before, most of your government contracting jobs is as you are working W-2, you do need a degree. Um, that's just what it is. Excuse me. Requires a degree in systems engineering or related science, engineering, or mathematics. Also requires a 10-year background, a 10-year job experience related. Master's degree, they go with 8 years. Agile experience, clearance requirements, ability to obtain a DoD security clearance is required at the time of hire. So what does that mean? That means no drugs, you can't smoke weed. That means you need to be able to pass a background check, good credit, no felonies. It also means that they're probably going to interview your neighbors and your friends. It's also going to mean that you know, the company you keep, because you want to give references. Like if you know your homeboy been to jail and got a felony on his record, that would not be someone I would put down for the agent to go talk to.
In my brain when you were going over this, and I was like, I wonder if we're going to touch on the clearance requirements
Yeah,
because it's a lifestyle change, and
yeah,
not so much, but I mean, if you are not out there doing hood rat stuff with your friends, I mean, your circle will definitely change
yeah,
because now it's tied to your um way of living,
yeah,
actually,
yeah. Yeah, because like here's the thing: if you get a speeding ticket, I think now if you get a speeding ticket over 250, you got to report it. If you're earning that over, I think over an extra 10,000 a year or a month, that's supposed to be reported. If you do foreign investments, that needs to be reported. If you are friends with foreign nationals or they live in your household, that needs to be reported. The secret is, well, the public trust is the minimum, but really I call it a secret. It's like that's the baby step. You get the secret, yay. You still need to upgrade to a TSSCI with a CI poly, right? You're gonna need to upgrade from there. All right. But again, this position is eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to 50,000 for new hires only. There is a employee referral program where you can get 10,000. I've also seen external referrals, where some referrals people have reached out and say, if you can get us this position filled, we're offering 20,000, we're offering 30,000, we're offering 40,000. So again, another way to make money in tech is to know people. So you will need to have people in your network in order to refer them to the job, because the one thing you do want to get is your referral, right? You want your money, in other words, you want your coins, right? Nah, they don't go back to the second grade. I think they're only going back 10 years now. If you, it really helps if you are younger to get a clearance. Like if you're like in your 20s or 21 because you don't really have nothing in your background. Like, what was you doing when you was 10 years old? I was stealing from the piggy bank. Right? I was putting my hands in the cookie jar, right?
You're a child, like
Yeah,
that
you're
does
a
not
child.
count.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's also
you don't have a
the
lot of
level
debts.
of clearance that you have now. Some of them, you're just like, I don't want to be a part of that. Like, you don't know me. You don't know me. And as a friend of a clear person, it gets pretty interesting. But it's like having another father.
So the question is, Desi, are you a U.S. citizen? That would be the first question I would have. That would be the first question because that's the first question they're gonna ask. Are you a U.S. citizen? And if you are a U.S. citizen, how long have you been a U.S. citizen? And then go deep dive off into that. Again, like I said, they are going to investigate foreign. Okay, yeah, they're going to investigate foreign-owned land, foreign-owned companies, stocks, cannabis, all of that. They're going to investigate all of that. But yeah, so just because you are from Rwanda and you live half your life in Russia, they're just gonna ask you more questions, and you're gonna be like, is it worth it? But again, it depends on how far back it goes, right? So here's a prime example. Because you may be, let's put you at 37. Let's say you live half of your life in Russia, and that was up until you were 20 years old, and they only going back 10 years. Then that may not come up. That may not come up, right? You could just let them know that, hey, I spent my younger years here, but they were like, well, okay, we want to know the last 10 years, right?
Hmm.
So that was just based on, that's a random example based on an age. That's just a random example based on an age. So it depends on when, right? How old you are and how far back that goes. So that's why I say it that way.
And then
For
extra scrutiny based on if one of those countries are on the list.
Yeah. Uh, Dual citizenship, Evelyn, I'm not sure. It depends on this, I guess, the country when which you got dual citizenship with, and what you were doing in that country, right?
Oh, Purple Girl, it's much more than do they want to know if you're a criminal, but you can't be a criminal. And and the people that you associate yourself with, because your family is an extension of yourself. And so that's why another reason why we teach the importance of fiscal responsibility for yourself and those around you, because that is your circle, and you touch that circle, so they want to know who you've been with, who do you hang around, and if you are vulnerable. So it in a lot of jobs, a lot of banking jobs, in banking industry, they go back and they do background checks and stuff, that as well. They want to know what your credit history is, your job history, because you are vulnerable. Like, is somebody gonna snatch you because you got a gambling habit and you're gonna start telling secrets? You're gonna start selling social security numbers. Like, they need to know that, because now you are an agent, a representative of the United States government. Or, with banking, you are a member of this institution, and the information that they have access to, um, just one false move and it can cost them millions. So
Yep. The other thing too, Purple Girl. So when you're doing the security list, they actually go through and say, hey, you got to list your mom, your sister, your dad, what the location, the city, the da 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 da. And then you got to put a list of at least 3 or 4 people. I think it's three, and that they can go and walk and knock on the door and talk to and actually say, is this person of good character? Is this person someone we can trust? Are they gonna steal secrets? And then your debt matters too. Your debt matters because people look at it as a way that someone can actually put you on the line. and say, hey, you're in this debt, so we know you're in this debt and you want to get out of it. We can offer you this in exchange for secrets or something of that nature.
Right.
And again, the other part of it is too is why certain things are wanting they want to know certain things because you may not be willing to sell anything, but you may know someone who's willing to sell you out for some things, right? Yeah. The polygraph, you don't have to do I don't think you have to do a polygraph for a secret. You don't need to do a polygraph for a secret, but you do need to do a polygraph for SCI with a with a CI poly. You do have to go sit down in a room, and you do have to. They do monitor, put on the stuff, and then monitor your intonation in your voice and so forth and so on. Your temperature, the whole nine, and everything. I think it's about a 2 or 3 hour process for that. Then if you're doing like a full scope poly, they want to know everything back to when you were as a child. And then I'm assuming Yankee White, they do a really thorough investigation on that.
Yeah.
Should get
And I
some.
mean, it's just good. It's good practice for Code and Evelyn, who said background check may reveal if your identity has been stolen. It's just good practice as an individual to check your credit and anything every 6 months on yourself. Google yourself on the internet, see what comes up, see what kind of information comes up on you, because you never know. So get in that habit to just check on yourself, your own affairs, to see what's going on out there. And I know for me, I caught someone that was using my name, and when I had to go get something done, they were like, this came up. And I think it was maybe um a gun license, or when I worked for a lender or something. It was just some weirdo stuff. And when I Googled it in the name, and I had been looking, and nothing had came up, but they had it on like some obscure database somewhere. Like sometimes you just never know. So get in the habit of uh, investigating yourself.
Yeah, so here's the other flip side because a lot of people I get this pushback too. People are like, I don't want the government in my business. So I hear this a lot. And I'm just gonna say this. You have a social security number and a phone, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Your social security number, you have a phone, and you drive around in a car that goes up to satellites that communicate with satellites.
Through your navigation.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. You have a credit card that shares data with a credit company that is probably getting data from that credit company to the federal government. You saying you don't want them to track you, you don't want them in your business. You're here on YouTube. You have a social security number. I'm just what all I'm saying is unless you're completely off the grid, living in a trailer somewhere in Idaho.
They still gonna come for get you, tap you. So this we gonna need some money for this power, because this is not what you're supposed to be having.
Right. Like, unless, I mean, you could be off the grid on your own power source, but I'm just saying, like, stop. Right. You know, you keep saying you don't want, and then this is my favorite one. Well, I don't want them in my business like that.
You are their business. As a U.S. citizen, you are their business. So I say, I love my false sense of security. Y'all be
I
out
don't
here
want them in
acting up
my
if you don't want
business
to.
like that. Hold on. This my other favorite one. Because I know we got some people in the chat that use it. My other favorite one is we don't want nobody in our business like that, but you use Alexa and you use Google and you use all the other stuff. You don't want them in your business? Okay.
I bet y'all location turned on right now. I'll be like,
You don't want
let
them
me
in
get it. Mm-mm. No, no, you can't do that unless I'm in that. No, 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 that's a no.
if you not living in, like I said, in some RV off the grid and
In
have
a cave,
in a
in a rock.
stockpile of cash, I you are there in your business. I'm just saying.
And 9 times out of 10, if you've seen it on a movie,
All right, so let's get back to it. So responsibilities for this particular position, they do offer relocation, may be available. It is solution architect. It's engineering, is the engineering prime point of contact between GDMS and government engineering teams on all technical matters. The job performance objectives: maintain and grow existing customer base, expand customer base, brief executive management, successfully shape procurements, and so forth. That's what you will be doing. It says the target salary range right here. So the target salary range right there, they have between 166 and 184. This estimate represents the typical salary range for the position based upon factors, geolocations, and actual pay may vary. So we can generally say, I generally say from 166 to 200K, right? And a $50,000 sign-on bonus, right? So you don't need a clearance. If you feel like you qualify for this, then I would apply. Simple as that. Let the chips fall where they may, literally. The next one up was a systems engineer. There was actually four positions, but these are the ones kind of stuck out to me. Up to 15,000. They said having a security clearance is preferred at the time. Having a background in engineering, basically. uh, General Dynamics Mission Systems, for advanced software systems engineer. In this role, you'll help guide all phases of software system development, participate in new business, be clear and enthusiastic communicator, work towards a high level vision. I'm trying to see if they have, yeah, so this one pays between 107 and 119. When that bonus goes down, that you should know that that range of pay is going to go down. Just a FYI. That's just a FYI. And I'll put these in jobs if I have not already in Slack. Let me double check and make sure they're not already there in Slack. Rob Cope, thank you for joining Slack. Lisa Farrell, thank you for joining Slack. Laquita Marie, thank you for joining the Slack. I can see when y'all come in, so I know who here. Uh, D, you have a note in there for uh,
that's what I
uh
know. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
What'd you say?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you have a note. You saw it?
No.
Oh, okay. What was I going? I was looking for jobs. Let me see if I posted them. Mm-mm-mm. Mm, yeah, I did. I posted it. Posted those jobs. These jobs are posted in Slack already. Yeah, these jobs are posted in Slack already. All right. So we can close this out. We can close this out. All right. This one talks about how to get a job in cloud without a degree. How do you get a job working with cloud without a degree? I am going to let this video play. It's only 7 minutes long. So you can go from there. Hey, you're welcome. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Priyanka Vergaria, Staff Developer Advocate at Google Cloud, and today I plan to share with you.
Pause right there real quick. So developer advocate. Those of you that like to write blogs and then just really show people how to do things, kind of like what I do every week. This would be considered like a developer's advocate. You write blogs, you show people, you go speak at conference, you travel, you interact with people to get them started on, so forth. And staff is another level up. That's more of a senior person, right? So again, I'm talking about, um, hey, take your what you're learning, and I tell you this in the classes that we have, and journal every single day. Your journal every day what you're doing for your career, right? Document your journey. Use GitHub, use GitLab. to create a story about your journey. And then when you do that, you create your tutorials about your journey, post them on LinkedIn, post them on a blog. Actually, and me and Dee was talking about this. I know she was like, "Don't bring this up," but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. I was actually looking at buying a company last night that has blogs that you could do, that we could post Linux blogs on, even though we have our own thing. But I was just looking at like, okay, let me get my feet wet and buy a company. And then what I wanted to do is buy the well, I back up. Let's see. I'm interested in buying the company, but I want to offer it to you to come in on buying the company. It's not a lot of money. It's only the guy's only selling it for like $4,000, right? You can go swipe a credit card and be done with that, right? But what I was looking at was I want to do a mastermind on this, on how to analyze buying a company. And this gets into a whole nother thing. That's why I want to do a binary hustler today. But to talk about, okay, well, how do you analyze buying a company? Like, how do you do that? And then how do we look at whether this company is going to be profitable or not? And what I wanted to do was offer it up to the community to give you a chance to come in and buy the company with me. It's only $4,000. I probably put up 3,000 and leave 1,000 out there for people to get in on it, or maybe I put up half and you and everyone else put up another half. But you can put in. I wanted to set it up where you could put in, $500 or something like that, right? Just go from there and do that, right? And that way you would see the ability of one, what does it take for us to all come together to analyze the company, one, and then two, what does it take to say what we want to do with the company, how we're going to grow, and then come up with a plan to grow the company. And you get a chance to actually speak on the platform because it's your company, right? So I don't know. I was thinking about that and going down that path. I don't know, D. What are your thoughts on it? You in the background, D. We can't hear you.
I know where I'm
You in the back. We can't hear
a
you.
mixed master in this thing. I mean, I think
It's a lot of work.
I mean, but actually you're talking to an introvert about that type of position. So I feel like if you're an extrovert and you can get out there and
No, I'm talking about
people,
buying. I'm talking about buying the company.
buying the blog business.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also, I'm always for extra income. Again, like I said, I would have to read that information and what the
Mm-hmm.
business is and what they're already making on that business, because since it was so low, and to automate
Yeah,
that system.
and I think this what happened from just me looking at it from what I remember. I think he just created something, he put it out there, he got a domain name, he got some following, he got some traction. He don't make a lot of money for it, but what he has put into it, he just want to sell it. I don't think it's pulling in like $200 a month. Or so I think he's barely scraping on that. But I was just looking at it from the perspective of, well, get your feet wet, buy something easy peasy that's in your realm, and then build it out from there. And then once we build it out from there, now because it already has some notoriety, like we don't already have notoriety, it will be a business we acquire, and then we can sell that as a headline. Like, how did this nonprofit continue to buy these blogs? And like, there's a learning platform on there that I was looking at buying. Like, oh, I want to create our own learning platform, but I was like, should I just buy something that's already making money?
You already know me. Like I work smarter and not
Yeah,
harder. Like
yeah.
I believe in not having to reinvent the wheel, especially in this age of technology. There's so many things out there that um, do exactly what you need them to do, and as a small business that has the workforce to keep it up. Like, I'm all for infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. I'm all for it, because then that way you the company that you contract is responsible for the upkeep and all that other type of stuff. So all of that money that you get in is just it's profit after you pay everybody out, and I'm with it.
Yeah, I wanted to give Sherelle a shout out because she always gives me a shout out in the on the morning show. Make sure I give you your shout out, your flowers while you are still here, Sherelle. I appreciate you for dropping by. You said I have to literally take a month off to catch up on. I'm gonna guess what I'm talking about. You're great at for what you do. Don't take a month off. Don't take a month off. Take it in chunks. We only produced on Sundays. I mean on Saturdays. When I just imagine if I was writing shows every day, which I could literally do a show every day. We just don't have that kind of time. But then it begs the question: is it, do we not have the enough time, or should we make enough time where we are focused, where we use the smart planning, right? Time box it, be precise, come
Deep
up,
work.
yeah, come up with the topic, stick to the topic, stick to the time, and then put it out there, right? That, I mean, and that's gonna come with um that would come with me probably on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays, scheduling out what the week's topics are going to be. Hit those that topic that day for hit that topic that day and have it scheduled for all week long. I like premieres and I don't like premieres. I like lives better. Lives to me serve more interaction, but could take longer, right? But again, it is really dependent, right? It's really dependent. All right, so let's get back to the video. Ooh, my mouse. There we go.
Some tips to get into cloud without a degree. Let me start by saying that yes, it is a bonus if you already have a degree within computer science discipline, but it is not required. What is required though is commitment and motivation. As long as you have those, you can study and gain the experience you need to get into cloud. So, if you have the commitment and the motivation, what do you need to reach your cloud destination? In this video, I will lay out a 4-step path for you to get into cloud and answer some common questions. First, understanding your cloud path. Which path do you want to take? Developer, architect, data engineer, machine learning engineer, a DevOps engineer, security or network engineer. I know that itself is a lot. How do you choose? Even though you may not have a computer science degree, your current or your past experience might lie in, let's say, networking or security or systems administration.
All right, so I want to back up a little bit here. I want to, and it's going to replay again, but I want to point out some things. Security, DevOps engineer, ML, architect, network, data engineer, developer uh, are all what's the word I'm looking, careers that you can have in tech, right? You can be a developer, you can be a data engineer, you can be a network engineer, you can be an architect, you can be a machine learning engineer, you can be a DevOps engineer, you can be a security engineer, you can be a security analyst, you can be a security person focused on data engineering, you could be a security person focused on containers, you could be a DevOps engineer that's focused on containers and security, you could do DevSecOps, you could do machine learning and be focused on security. You could be an architect that focus on the whole stack. You could be a network engineer that's focused on just networking or networking and security. They kind of all go hand to hand. You could be a data engineer. You could be a data analyst. You can do modeling. You can do data viz, where you're only doing visualization. You can be a developer, and I'm gonna bring up some data viz here in a minute. You could be a developer that focus on Rust, Python, Golang, Kotlin, Java, C++, Perl, COBOL, C, embedded C, uh, and the list goes on, right? So all of these are potential careers in which you work, and you don't have to be stuck in one thing. But I also like the shape that they follow, because they followed the shape for a reason. If you don't notice that, the shape that they're following is like the OSI model. If you are into what the layers are the OSI model. But again, that's how I interpret this, right? Infrastructure, DevOps, engineer is one of those things. You're going to always need computers. You're going to always need compute. You're going to always have a data center. You literally can't take a box and go fly up into an airplane and drop it on the cloud. It doesn't mean it don't work like that. It's literally the data center is your cloud, right? The data center is your cloud. So again, edge computing is another one that I have not brought up, right? So again, these are all careers, and I wanted to really highlight that. So because a lot of people get caught up with it, and I've also talked about uh, what her position is, a staff developers advocate, and having an being a developers advocate. Where I was supposed to get what you call it on from HashiCorp. I'll bring that up too here in a minute, but let's get through this because we got so much to get through. So let's keep rocking.
Science degree, your current or your past experience might lie in, let's say, networking or security or systems administration. Those experiences are a great way to pick one of these paths. It can accelerate your journey into cloud. I got into cloud with SaaS services background. I know friends and colleagues who started off as security engineers because they had experience in security. If you have no background in any of these paths, that is fine. No worries at all. You can still get into cloud. The path I would recommend in that case is pursuing an associate level cloud architect knowledge. Why? Because it prepares you with a little bit of everything from infrastructure to networking to security to data and more, which makes it a great foundational step. You can pick a specialization from there or stick to being an architect.
All right. So again, like I said, with the architect, they probably gonna cover everything. That's why I was trying to get to you. I'm on the I know all of those things because Linux has led me to know those things. Being in the positions that I've been in have led me to know those things. When I say the positions that I have been in, running the infrastructure for entire companies has been my thing. Building out data centers, building out skips has been my thing. It is something that I just know how to do. I've just been doing it. It is something that is going to always be there. You're going to always need these four things. You're going to always need infrastructure. You're going to always need networking. You're always going to need security, and data is going to always get produced. So when you're looking at like what are my career options, where do I go? Where dip your toe into things that you've never heard about before and try them out. I just gave you a whole list of a cloud guru free classes for the rest of August that you could go dip your toe in and see if you like something. Just go spin up something, go click on the class, sign up. Like, I don't like this. Spend 30 minutes with it. I don't like this. Do your research on it, take notes on it, figure out what you like. Don't get stuck in the mindset of, okay, I'm coming from the medical position, I don't know what I need to do. And I got something for y'all medical folks today. I even got something for you crypto folks. I even got something for your lawyers. I got something for everybody today. I purposely did this day. the I did it this way for a reason, because I want everybody to understand you all have a role and position in tech. You just need to know where you fit in it, and you need to be smart about it and create a plan, and then write your plan down, and then go along your journey. Every skill you add an asset to that. If you switch your position and you come over to tech and they give you a $50,000 sign-on bonus, don't go pay off all your bills. Don't do it. I'm not saying don't put something on it. I'm just saying go buy an asset and let the asset start income producing so that you can pay those bills off, right? That's all I'm saying, right? All right, so let's get back to it.
Architect. Now comes the how. the second part, which is studying for a certification. Each of these paths have a corresponding certification. If exams scare you like they scare me, don't approach it as I'm studying to get certified. Just go through the prep with an intention of structured studying. You don't really have to get certified, but the structured studying for a certification will help you cover the concepts you need to know to be successful in the cloud role anyway. Whichever path you pick, you should definitely go through the fundamentals of Google Cloud, such as Google Cloud Skills Boost, Coursera, or Pluralsight courses. Each of these have their own learning paths defined on their certification pages, so go through and make a study plan. That brings me to third step, which is doing the hands-on labs. This is the part that's most important. You cannot skip this one. You need to see how things work. Play with the tech. Make a hello world. This is the part that is going to bring it all together between the theoretical concepts and the practical applications. Where can you find these labs though? There are quick labs and quick starts to get familiar with the concept. You can piece those together to build your own fun projects. Then comes the fourth point, which is building your cloud portfolio. Your certification proves that you have the knowledge, but to prove to an employer, you will need to show that you can put that knowledge to an effective use for a business purpose. And to prove that, focus on creating a cloud projects portfolio from your training journey or from your internship or passion projects. Now, you might ask, is getting a certification and doing hands-on labs really enough? Well, no. On its own, a cloud certification with some hands-on labs does not guarantee a job. You need to demonstrate hard skills. How do you compensate for the lack of experience? By working on hands-on projects. Pick a project that spans across some programming languages, networking, some basic Linux command knowledge, and deploy it in cloud. So, an example project could be something like building an API or a web application. It will require you to develop the code for your application. Then you would have to pick the infrastructure to deploy that application in the cloud. Pick
I just want to pause right there, y'all. What's that thing y'all see on there? D, what's that thing we talk about every week that's on this screen? You see it?
At the top,
Yeah,
in the yellow,
uh-huh, in the
in,
yellow,
in the yellow,
in the yellow.
it's high up there, ain't it?
Mm.
I like Pre. Pre is in all my GCP courses. Pre, she is earning her keep over there at the Google. Pre is on all my GCP courses. Yeah, it's pretty on point about what we talk about.
That's right, Stacy. You see it?
You see it?
You see
Pretty,
it?
and then there's the cloud. Pick a cloud, any cloud. Then it's a
What?
code. You
What?
know.
You see it? I just wanted to pause and give that just a little acknowledgement.
And also hands-on projects, like when we had our data center projects, like open source projects, like getting your hands dirty, getting in the groove, in the mood, doing something with that particular technology. Because it's like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. It's like anything, like learning the language. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yep, like I said, I had no reason to lie to you and tell you that you just need to do just this one thing, right? I'm just telling you foundational skills, right? I'm just trying to get your foundation on par, right? And
And
then
that foundational, not skills, but not skill, but skills with an S,
yeah,
plural.
yeah, yeah. I just want you to be ready to go. Uh, Down to earth, you can do projects. You can again your projects that you do. You can turn them into blogs. You can sell them to Digital Ocean. You can sell them to. I just talked about Redis earlier. You can do projects that way where you are building up your digital brand. You're also building up your digital real estate, if you want to look at it that way. And you're also setting a name for yourself, right? speaking at conferences on the things that you've accomplished and done, right? You got to look and see what they want. That's how you get to travel. That's how you get to be international. That's how you become the expert. Start writing your books, do an ebook, whatever the case may be. Put yourself out there. But again, goes back to that supernova that I was that those five principles that we were talking about before. But again, we'll let this continue, and then I got some more stuff to go over, and then we can
And also, if you're in a group, you and your group can come up with a project or join a project together. Still hold yourselves accountable.
yep, collab.
Storage, a database to interact with. In that process, you would basically end up learning how the internet works, the HTTP, TCP, SSL, networking, and more. You might ask, will certs help me bypass the degree filters that recruiters set up? Yes, certs do help get you interviews. It can open doors. When a recruiter goes through your resume, having a cert says that you're serious, especially if you're missing a traditional college degree in computer science. You might ask, what about those hiring managers? Will they really hire me on the basis of a cert or a training? Here's how I like to think about it. The cert can get you an interview, and the hands on hard experience will help you convert that interview into a job. And don't worry about getting too many certs. All you need is one or two certs to demonstrate that you're serious about this. Beyond that, experience really counts a lot more. Sometimes you might need to spend some time in an intermediate role like help desk, customer support, design. For example, I started off at a SaaS company as a quality assurance engineer. One of the most common questions I get is, what if I have a degree in something else that's not cloud? I would consider that a net positive. Find ways to leverage your non tech skills to make you a more attractive candidate. For example, I have a colleague, Stephanie Wong, who broke into cloud with a communication studies degree, and she's made that a differentiator for herself in telling technical stories on this YouTube channel. Overall, don't let not having a CS degree stop you from exploring cloud as a career. There is a path to gaining knowledge and expertise and to find a job. We just covered it. Pick a path, prepare for a certification, do hands on labs, and build your cloud portfolio. Now, it's your turn. Go ahead, use these steps, and make a plan for your cloud journey. And if you liked this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We will be back with more advice on how you can crack your cloud career.
Shit, I just want to give you different perspectives. Like everyone doesn't come in with the same background. Everybody doesn't go to college. Everybody didn't graduate and do blah 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 blah. That's not what they did. I must have had a video up and it was playing in the background. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So again, I would just want everyone to be aware of that. What your options are. I could click on and we can get into get a cloud career from a non-tech background, but I think this kind of gives you probably like the same thought process there. Um, so with that being said, I do have one more before I transition to something else. Let me see. I had it on here. I might have posted it somewhere else, but let me look through my notes real quick because I wanted to bring it up because it was important. No, it's not posted there. So let me go back over here because I posted it somewhere else. Um, and I had it up. Let me see. All right, here we go, right here. So a lot of people ask about tech sales, and we talk about it. But here we go.
Okay, I think we'll get started.
I'm not gonna be here 47 minutes looking at this one. I just want to give you this one: careers in cloud, how to break into tech sales with a non-traditional background. It's 47 minutes long. Y'all can go check this out and look at it. It doesn't have it broken up into chapters from what I see, but we'll go here and just give a brief summary. Main takeaways: understand the steps needed to explore and secure a career in the tech industry. gain perspectives and insight from our panelists' personal and professional journeys in tech industry. Learn what skills and backgrounds sell tech recruiters and hiring managers looking for the candidates. Again, subscribe to the channel. Hands-on interactive labs with Hashi and what is Hashi and so forth. So they don't have a breakdown of everything that discussed in here, but I did want to point this out, that they're talking about careers in cloud, how to break into tech sales from a non-traditional background on our YouTube channel. D, you gotta keep me honest on this one. On our YouTube channel, we do have a playlist. And where is the one for tech sales for Red Hat?
It's in the meetup.
It's in the meetup. In the meetup. I'm fast in the meetup. Q&A, burner, alters. What?
Meetup. It's on the other side of Yvette's, the 600 Series podcast.
Here we go. That was last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blockchain. What did you name it? This one?
That might be it. Is that Donna?
Let me see.
I don't know. I can't. It's really small.
No, that's Rodrigue. That's who I thought that was.
He was talking about tech sales too, right? That's what he was doing, right?
At that time, no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Here it is right here. Right here. So you can go on and check this one out. She's still looking. I know we got chapters on this, so I think because I see the chapters here. Know the cloud. What is a distributed system? Benefits of the Linux Foundation, benefits of soft skills, levels of sales engineering, Q&A session that we did right there, right? So she works on the sales side. So we interviewed her. She's ready for you to reach out to her and say, hey, yep, I'm ready to break into X, Y, and Z. This tech sales, I think I posted this inside the general channel already. If not, I'll post it again and go from there. You said so much info today. Yeah. Like I said it's gonna be a lot of info today. I said that I warned y'all on the first show that today was gonna be a lot of info. Today was a lot of info. I warned you. All right,
I
so
think we have a lot of info every week. Like it's a lot of info. I mean, and maybe because I see the links on the back end and know what you're going through, but yeah, it's a lot of info.
yeah, it is. All
But
right.
hopefully we're bringing to you what stands out to us as the important stuff, because I know it's hard on your own sometimes reading through that info and finding out how it's applicable to yourself. So
All right, so Stanton House, live security opportunities. All roles are remote. I'm going to blow this up. So everybody's always like, where the jobs at? So people are getting laid off. I'm bringing you jobs there. People are hiring right now. So you can dispel that myth, or you can run with that myth and say they laying off, or you can go get a job. You can get the skills to get a job. Do tell me, right? Application security software tech 160 to 180 application security engineer. They need two positions. A cyber vendor 150 to 190 plus bonus plus equity. Cloud security, DevSecOps engineer, 180 to 200 plus a 14% on the bonus. You would need to find out if that bonus is paid yearly. How is that bonus broken up? All right. Senior cloud security architect, 180 to 200K, 14% bonus. Cloud security analyst in aviation, 120 plus a bonus. Cloud security architect with Azure, InsureTech, 200K plus 20%. That 20%, you need to find out what that is. Is that based on sales? Is that based on company driven? Is that just something automatically they're going to give you on top of that? So let's do the math, D. What's 20% of 200? 20% of 200. Let's pull the calculator over. So 200K times, make sure do times 0.2.
I'm
40,
sorry, you did ask me what the number was, but I was doing too many things.
it's all
No,
good.
I mean,
40,000, right? So
thank
again,
you, Horace.
but again, I don't know when they say 20%, is that 20% based upon sales or whatever, or is it just 20% on top or something? Like what's that 20, what is that 20% based on? And then is that 20% just for 1 year? Is that 20% yearly? So you need to ask those questions right there. You need to ask those questions, right? All right. Detection and response, event tech, 165K plus 20%. Detection and response engineer and insurance tech, 165 plus RSUs. Incident response expert consulting, again, consulting, your LLC expert, they giving you 160 to 200K plus 20% plus options. We want you to make sure we good, right? Senior threat researcher, a SIM vendor up to 200K, GRC, I've talked about this before, 135K, 150K plus 20% for a TPR analyst, that's InsurTech, security control analyst trading, 150K plus bonus, that's hybrid in Chicago or New York. Leadership is 220K plus bonus plus future equity. Incident response manager consulting, 220K plus 20%, plus 20% plus options, and 150K plus bonus. Right. So I don't know if those numbers sound good to you. I can go. I think next week I'm gonna pull jobs at the 300, 400, 500K. That's also I think. What are your thoughts? I don't know, Miss Phoenix. I just Amazon just emailed me and was like, "Can you come work for us?" So, I mean, I don't know, right? It depends on the jobs, right? Depends on the job. Um, Let me see. It's for a cloud security engineer consultant. Um, Let me go through this. What they looking for? Because I was asking about the breakdown since they changed their pay scale model and what that looks like. Because Amazon don't be paying no money. They had to update their scale. Like, what y'all doing? Ain't nobody trying to do this. But basically they got oh yeah, I need to let my mom know her package is there. Basically they were doing up to between, I should say, between 300 to 400K RSUs, and then 2 years of a yearly bonus um, that they were giving out. So, is this a staffing agency? Probably. Security at Stanton House. Yeah. I specialize in building relationships with top cloud security professionals in the country. And so this is what her thing was. So I'll be posting these jobs here soon. So it was something else I wanted to go. Oh, this one right here. All right. So I know a lot of y'all will be out here. So we talked about cybersecurity. We talked about tech sales. Now let's talk about all y'all want healthcare jobs. How can I make the change? So here's AWS Healthcare and Life Sciences. Let me do most recent. Let me sort by most recent. Principal Solutions Architect at MP Healthcare. Principal Solutions Architect, Strategic Solutions, Global Development Lead for Healthcare Payers, Strategic Industry, Healthcare and Life Sciences, a Solutions Architect, a Life Sciences Specialist, BDSI, HCLS, a Solution Architect, a Senior Solutions Architect, a Solutions Architect, Healthcare and Life Sciences, and then there's the list goes on. It's 6 pages. I'm not gonna go through 6 pages. I'll just post the link. I just want you to know that here it's 53 full-time jobs here, and here's how they're breaking it down. Non-tech, they got a program, a project, a program and product manager, administrative support. They have sales, they have operations IT, they have business development, and then they got 33 solutions architect. That is just for tech. That's for healthcare at AWS alone. Queen Lee, you say, Tam, did you find these in LI? Yeah, or were they sent you? I found these, some of these in LinkedIn, some of these were sent to me, and some of these I went out and searched for. All right. So that's that one. All right. So here, just off the top, while it's up on my screen, Spotify is Spotify allowed its 6,500 employees to work from anywhere in the world. Its turnover rate dropped. So Spotify is remote anywhere. If you want to work at Spotify, I will go Spotify. All right, Spotify, and then click on their jobs because we know they are remote. And then let's find jobs at Spotify. Let's go. Find jobs at Spotify. Let's go find some jobs at old Spotify. I hate when they come up like this. So advertiser investors jobs. Explore all jobs. We want everything remote. The category they have is engineering backend, engineering leadership, machine learning, security, web, data research and insights, sales, content. Look, they don't have nobody for content right now. That's empty. Design, product and marketing, support operations, nothing in finance. And that's it. So let's scroll back up. So engineering, say we got engineering leadership. We have security. What's the security? What is that one? Product manager security. It's out of New York. Right. But again, go to Spotify, check them out, see what interests you, what don't interest you, and go from there. Right. Product manager security. That's the first time I ever heard of that for a product manager. But I guess it would make sense, right? Product manager security. All right. Go and do your own due diligence. All right. Do I need to stop, D?
I think you probably need to wrap it on up.
I need to wrap it up.
You probably need to wrap it on up.
That means you tired, you done, you hungry. I ain't gonna get through all my stuff.
I'm not gonna get roped into this. I'm not gonna get roped into this.
I'm not gonna get through all my stuff.
I mean, hey, if you give me 30 minutes a night, we can pre-record a lot of your stuff.
I don't want to pre-record. I don't like
exactly. And I can put it out during the week.
I don't like pre.
And it can be tidbits from Tam. Tam is tidbits.
No.
Tidbits from Tam.
No.
Tam is, if you guys don't know by now, Tam is very spontaneous and off the cut. And anytime I try to
okay, I think we'll get started.
Find any of that energy, I get pushback. However, there's so much of it.
I told you it's gonna be a lot of info today.
And you tell me that every week.
There'll be a lot of info. All right, this is what I'm trying to get, and then I got one I know we gotta do today. No, it's one I gotta do today. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the super chats. All right, so let's get busy. 93% of employers want to see soft skills on your resume. Here are the 8 most demanded ones that they have. This is from July 13th of 2022. Not going to read everything. Communication skills, customer service skills, scheduling, time management, project management, analytical thinker, ability to work independently, flexibility were all the skills that they needed to see. I'll drop this in the thingy and we'll go from there. What'd you say? Melanated minimalist. You said when I saw her, Erica, I said she is in tech. She my people.
No, she said you are energy. She said she is energy. I said I try to
I
hone
know.
to that energy. She said she is energy, like
No,
supernova.
that's not what I read. She said when I
It's in
saw.
the one before that.
Oh, okay.
That was her comment after it.
Oh, okay. It is what it is. All right. So we're gonna go with this one, and then I'm going to drop this one here that is going to really kind of solidify some stuff. I got scholarships I gotta go over. They don't want y'all to be great.
No, that's why we have the Slack.
No.
I want them to be great. I want them to go in there and go into Slack, go into those channels. I want them. You can't do all the work for the people.
I didn't. I'm just reporting. I'm a reporter.
I know. Top Flight. I
No,
know. You just bring it.
you know what we need to go do. Like I said, we need to do news with Tam.
We need to do what?
News with Tam.
Oh, but you like news with Tam.
Yeah, news with
You
Tam.
like news with Tam? What kind of news, Tam?
Oh, I got a lot.
What kind?
I have stuff on stocks. I have stuff on animals. I've been doing like research with Linux and animals. I've been doing research with Linux around the world. What does it look like? I've been doing a lot of stuff. I haven't incorporated it here yet because I'm not sure what. Should it be another show?
Can I get a news with Tam? Can we pre-record that? For why?
This is what I need for you to do. I need for you to find some.
Don't put nothing else on. I don't need.
That's what I need for you to do.
Wait.
I need for you to find somebody to take your place so you can go take breaks.
What
So
you mean? I do take breaks.
No, so you can be so if I'm like, oh, I want to do this, you can be like, well, call such and such to see if they got time for you today to do X, Y, and Z.
What do you mean?
So if I want to do a binary hustler, you're like, I want to eat and you want to study, right? So if we had somebody else in place, then you can go eat and study.
But what you fail to realize is that because it's still spontaneous and impromptu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because it's spontaneous and impromptu, that person may not be available for you when you get a wild hair.
So what I'm saying is you
want somebody on call for you.
Yeah, for a lot of amount of time for like 7.
That's how much
7 to 10. 7 to 10.
Write that out of what that person looks like for you. That's not
me.
And I will find you that person. I will find you that person.
He or she are gonna know their colors. That's the first qualification. Know that you are not mocha. That's first.
Somebody asked me what is my technical skill set? So I'm in infrastructure. Actually, I'm in infrastructure ops. So that is, I a project manager by trade, I guess.
She has a degree in pushback.
So my tech journey has started into experience. I didn't start with a technical language. I am not in the programming at all. I know a little bit of Python, some basics Python, but my job right now is in banking. I work on the infrastructure operations team. So we support over 90 plus applications. So I need to know networking. Got some networking. I needed to know Linux. I need to know PowerShell. I need to know how some soft skills, talking to people, things of that nature. Um, what else do I do on a daily basis? I liaison with vendors. So my job, they did the bid and switch. They put me on a different team, so it's not as technical as I needed it to be. But I learned some ITEL. I was gonna shoot you the bird on this screen, but I didn't want no evidence of that. I learned a hodgepodge of things as far as tech. But right now, as far as like for me, I guess I can say I'm a generalist because I'm on the infrastructure side. But am I on the command line all day, all night? Absolutely not. Most of my interaction in the tech space is people facing. So I'm just volleying all day. I'm trying to find solutions to problems and asking the right questions. So, but what I'm learning right now is I'm learning Linux just like everybody else. I'm learning Linux. I'm starting back. I get off the path and then I have so much going on. So yeah, I work in tech, not as technical as I want to be today. That wasn't the answer to the question. And you are right, melanated minimalist. She's the vision. I put the vision together. I make it happen. I turn her visions into reality.
Why do you keep taking down what Tam said in the chat?
Because Tam is on that BS right now. Because
Don't
if
deny,
I'm the fun police, why do you choose to have all your fun with me?
don't deny Tam.
Do I
Tam
manage
moment.
people? Do I manage people? Is that question for me? No, I do not manage people. I am on a team of a lot of people.
Too many people in women in Linux.
I'm on a huge, huge team. It's in banking. So you already know in banking, everybody's a VP, but my team is ginormous. But in Women in Linux, do I manage people? Absolutely. People, projects, money, partnerships. Tamika,
No,
I'm her manager.
no. D is the fun police. I keep putting it up there. I don't know why she keeps taking it down. Shout out to Tam. All right, Tam, you got it.
D is not the fun police.
Everybody that
D
says
is a fun junkie.
D is the fun police. D is the fun manager. All right, so let's get back to it. And D is the same complexion as Kiki Wyatt.
Yeah. So my position is because we do a lot of things in that space. It gets so into the weed because a lot of the things that we do are is industry specific. As far as like a lot of back office things, and my team is split up into so many pieces. But I mean, I could be working in a database 1 minute. I can be working in access management in 1 minute. I can be working on a different team as it's so much is in infrastructure, and I like it because it is broad and there's a lot of things going on with it. um I know the other day we had some apps were down and they were some critical business apps, and we were like running around with our chickens with our heads cut off, and I was getting like all these calls and IMs, and I'm on the phone, and I told Tam, I was like, man, it was so excited. Like I felt like I was on the tech team for the first time because it was so many components, and because the heads of other departments were there, we had like 2 Zooms up, and it was just a lot going on to try to find out what was going on, to validate what was going on, who had what. So you'll be surprised that the role that you're seeking, how much different than what your mind thinks it is in what you're doing on a daily basis. So don't overthink it.
What'd you say?
Don't overthink it.
You remember that? Learning and earning. Thanks for taking the time to inspire us, Tam. You're welcome. When I say when I said don't overthink it, I'm talking about you and them Linux commands.
I don't be overthinking it. I know exactly how I'm thinking it, and I course correct. Bam, difference. That's my friend. That's my friend face right there. Like that's my friend right there. That's my friend. That's her right there. That's my friend. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. All right, back to what we were saying. All right,
What are we talking about now?
thank you. System administrators, right? So I found this right here, System Administrator Career Guide. I'm not sure when this was made, but basically it said also known as sysadmins administrate, manage, and monitor and troubleshoot IT systems. This includes servers, networks, computers, and routers. They make sure a system is up and running smoothly, both by solving issues and taking preventative measures or against operative and secret and security threats. Right, you do that all the time. Glassdoor, which I don't like, got you at 64,000, bachelor's degree, so forth and so on. And then they go into jack of all trades and as a sysadmin, what you are, cybersecurity engineer. You can roll into a lot of things. That whole entire that on that Google Cloud, diagram where I said all these are career paths. As a sysadmin, you can go and dive into all those things. Again, because you're just a jack of all trades, you understand networking, you understand security, you understand architecture, you understand what the customer needs, meaning the customer could be internal or external, and then you understand the cloud too. Like, so you go, your Swiss Army knife, you can go anywhere. You can then choose to be focused again, T shape. Remember T shape, T, right? Very, very broad across the as your foundation, as your base, and then you specialize, right? The T shape model, right? Some people are L shape, some people are L shape, but most people are looking for T shape. All right, so that's that one. All right, so but then I want to bring this one. This is one I really, really wanted to get to this week. All right, so you asked me why did I become a Linux admin? Why do I advocate for Linux? I think I've shown you everywhere where Linux is at. I've shown you all this stuff, but this kind of really highlights right here about Linux. And when I say Linux, I mean infrastructure. I'm not sure where they pull, where Zippo is pulling their stats from and so forth. I'm not sure because your sysadmins can become that. D, why you smiling? What you doing, D? What you doing, D?
I'm not doing
What
nothing.
are you doing, D?
I'm listening.
You weren't listening. You was
I'm
doing.
listening to you. I am listening to you because you are about to lay it out for us.
Y'all don't see what I see in the back. All right, so let me blow this up.
I'm listening intently.
All right, Kiki. So research summary.
DP,
You,
not Kiki. DP.
Kiki, DD, Crazy D.
Back to why you chose Linux. reroute yourself back that way.
This one it come out, folks. You see it coming out.
Reroute back
Using
to
the
the
database of
inbox.
30 million profiles, Zipper estimates the demographics and statistics for Linux engineers in the United States. Our estimates are verified against BLS, census, and current job openings data for accuracy. After extensive research and analysis, Zipper's data science team found there are 11,414 Linux engineers currently employed in the US. 8% of those Linux engineers are women, while 91.9% are men. So when I tell you I am out and somebody say you know Linux, they were like, you know Linux. But here's the research to back that up. The average age of an employed Linux engineer is 43. The most common ethnicity of Linux engineer is white by 63.3%, followed by Asian of 13.3%, and Hispanic or Latino of 10.6%. The majority of the Linux engineers are located in Atlanta, Georgia, and Dallas, Texas. I also have a map of where Linux engineers are also located as well too, on the map, and I have data on here so we can talk about this a little more. San Francisco pays an annual average salary of 127, the highest in the United States. Linux engineers average around salary starting at 76,000. So let's back up. Let's stop. Just on Linux alone. Just on Linux alone. We just at a baseline from just an average, you'll be at 76, right? But what happens when you add cloud and automation, security? You don't think each one of those skills increase your pay? Now your pay goes up. So that's why I keep saying to you all, foundational skills and foundation and then add skills, right? Add skills all the way on top, right? In 2021, women earned 95% of what the men earned. The top 10% of the highest paid Linux engineers, as much as 135,000 or more. Washington State is the best place for Linux engineers to live. Linux engineers are more likely to work in public companies in comparison to private companies. So they broke it down here: 92% men, 8% female, 63% white men, probably, and 13% white Asian men. The average age was 43. The top industry is Fortune 500 companies, and then most popular city is Atlanta, Georgia. Now they have a heat map, and we're gonna drop down here to the heat map. You can see this is a long list. So let me start from the top. Let me start from where I was at. All right, cool. Right. Linux engineer by gender. They broke it down. They giving you the visual, and then they give you the charts. Linux engineer gender over time. Females, we had a full we was up 14%, and then they left. And now we're about 12%, right, in 2019. So this is all the way up until 2019. Looks like this was done. Yeah, so this is 3 years old. We was doing something, then we was like, nah. The female ratio, Linux male to female ratio, right? Informatics nurse specialist, you'll find 87% women. Clinical support, 78% women. Clinic administrators, 77% women. When it gets down to Linux engineer, it's 8% women, 92% are men. Senior data center engineer, 98% men. Software applications architect, 98% men. They're certified systems expert, 99% men. Now, why did I bring this up? Because I want you to see what's out there. I want you to see what other jobs out there. Have you ever heard of a senior data center engineer? You probably won't ever hear that. I keep telling you, it's going to always be a data center, right? It's going to always be a data center, but you could be a data center engineer. You could be a Dell certified systems expert. You could go work for Dell and get certified on their system. Again, this is what I'm talking about, right? Just different things. Learning and earning, that's underrated depending on where you are. Live one language skill set is more highly demanded. Yeah, it depends on where you live, yeah. Right? Next up, Linux engineer stats by race. Here we are. 9.4% African American, 10% Hispanic, 13% Asian, 63% white. So when you look at it, who do you think you're going to encounter more as you get into these positions? If you're on the infrastructure side, who do you think you're going to encounter more, right? And this goes for men and women of all races. Who do you think you're going to encounter more, right? No, they didn't probably leave and go to SRE. They probably left and went to security, or they probably left the industry altogether. Usually what happens with women in tech, they usually leave the industry. They don't leave and go somewhere else. They usually leave the industry. Um, that's usually what happens. What I find with a lot of men, in particular black men in tech, they're gonna stay the course. They're gonna stay in the job. They're not gonna change. They're gonna stay in their job. 9 times out of 10 is due to family support. They know the budget. They know what they're working with. They know who they're working with. They know what they can get away with. So they don't rock the boat, right? That's just my experience. That's what I've seen. And that's just me talking to a lot of black men who I ran into in tech. They don't want to rock the boat. They stay the course. They don't leave. So they'll be in a position 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and don't rock the boat. If they get a promotion, cool. If they don't, cool. That's what I'm saying. It's just facts. All right. White, Asian, Hispanic, Black, African American. That's just giving that. Linux engineer by race and ethnicity over time. So over time, we can see there's been a decline, right? So we got a decline here, right? But let's start down here. Here we are as black, and here we go. We had an uptick, and then we got a dip, and then we just been kind of steady. Mostly everybody's been kind of steady, as you can see with this career. And then they just put it out by data. And all right, so this is really what I wanted to show you, because a lot of y'all will take stuff from Glassdoor and y'all will consider it as a fact when Glassdoor just gives you an average, and they may do a mean, and they may give you like the slope or whatnot. But what you need to do is you need to find out who getting paid the most in the jobs that you're in, and then put yourself in position to be at that level or more, right? So look at this. Asian engineers have the highest average salary to other ethnicities. Black or African American Linux engineers have the lowest. But what this is also show you, they also are earn their white counterparts. Do you know why? Drop in the chat if you know why. Because from based upon these stats, it's only 8% women based on these stats. So these stats are not based on women; they're based on men. If we want to be truthful about it, majority of the stats, I should say. But do we know why Asians are out earning whites? Why are they out earning blacks? Why are they out earning Hispanics? And they have the smallest percentage. If we go up here and look, Asians are only 13.3% of this, right? I'm gonna tell you what probably the reason why is, and this is my speculation. My speculation is they ask. They don't take what's given, they ask. They know the numbers. They talk to people and they find out the numbers and they go for that. They ask. Don't get the first job offer and then don't ask for more.
Yeah. Yeah, see, not necessarily more time and dedication. I think that is false, because a lot of time they are mediocre at best. Sometimes it's just network,
Right.
plain and simple. You know somebody that knows somebody. When a position comes over, they tap into their friend group first, and they spread them into who's supposed to be looked at internally first, and then they champion for their friend.
Here is the average age of a Linux engineer broken down between male and female. Um, the male is in green, the female is in blue. Um, Average age for a white female is 45. The average age for a black female is around, it looks like around about 44. The average age of an Asian male is around 42. For a woman, it's around 40. But if they're out earning, according to that, as well too, 9 times out of 10, and they're younger, right? So that means that probably don't only have just those skills 9 times out of 10. But again, that just gives you an idea of, you're talking about people who are in their 30s and 40s as Linux engineers. And when I talk about lifetime skills, when I talk about being in it for forever, this is what I mean. This is the average age, right, of someone who's been doing it. So again, like I said, in my worst, in my worst day of my life, I'm like, I don't get another skill or whatnot, I can go sit on my ass and I know I'm just make 100,000. Now it may be work I don't want to do, but I know at least I'll make 100,000 at a minimum. At a minimum, I go live in my mama's basement.
She's not going to live in her mama's basement.
And make 100,000. I can go live on the street.
You're not going to live it. You're not going
Under,
to be up
under
under
a
the
bridge
bridge.
in the tent. I
You're
go
not going to be under the bridge. That's an inside joke. You're not going to be under the bridge.
I can go live on the street in Tent City and make my 100,000. I can go stand on the corner from the corner to the colonel. Shout out and make my 100. Okay. All right. Linux engineer again. Like I say, here's the numbers. Here's a female 48, African American 46. It's just one of them skills that's forever. It's a forever skill, right? Linux engineer breakdown. This chart breaks down the ages of Linux engineer employees. Interestingly enough, the average age of a Linux engineer is 40 plus, which represents 58% of the population. All right, 58% of the population. So then they break it down right here, 40 years and up, 58%, right? Types of Linux engineers, types of Linux engineer degree levels, right? The most common degree for Linux engineers is a bachelor by 74%. Of the Linux engineer earn a bachelor's degree. A second closest a master's, and then rounding off is an associate's. Right, high school diploma. Some people even have that, right? And then they go on Linux engineer jobs you might like. And then this is located in Colorado. Of course, it's pulling my stats. And it says Linux engineer with master's degree earn more than those without. 114 annually is what they found. With a bachelor's degree, Linux engineers earn about 106, compared to 99,000 for those who have an associate degree. So if you got an associate degree, you're earning 100,000 with an associate degree and a Linux cert. I'm just giving you baseline. Now, how long do you think it would take for you to go from 100K to 200K? Again, you got to add some skills. how long do you think it, D, what are you thinking? From 100K to 200K, how long do you think people could how long do you think that would take?
If they buckle down, maybe 3 months, 3 to 6 months,
I'm
depending on the skill now.
I'm gonna say a year.
That's what I said. Depends on the skill, what they add into the mix.
Here's why I went with a year. Because you're gonna make that 100K, you're gonna loaf, you're gonna try to figure out finances, figure out life,
Your new lifestyle.
your new lifestyle, and then you gotta study. So I give you about 6 months on study. So I
Yeah,
give you
and
about
it depends what they already have based on their skill set, because we get a lot of people that come through our door that are highly skilled individuals that are way underpaid.
right. So you could be at 150, but I'm telling you, if you got Linux, Kubernetes, and cloud,
And they've been in their positions long suffering because they're comfortable. So that's a confidence issue, not a skills issue.
all right. So Linux employment engineer employment statistics. This session highlights the information we gathered about the types of businesses and industries that employ Linux engineer. We found the most common company type is public. In addition, the industry that employs the most Linux engineer is the technology industry. You don't say. We created this chart. So again, if you're looking at where people are flocking to who have Linux skills, they're looking at companies with 10,000 or more. I prefer companies around this range. They have more perks. That's just my personal preference. Don't go with what I say, go with what you're comfortable with. But this is my, maybe even 1,000 employees is my personal preference, right? But again, when you start looking at companies around this side, you are the person. You are the person. You are the person. Again, I don't make this up. This is stats that I pulled. I'm presenting it to you. I didn't make this up. I'm just reading the stats.
This is off of Obama's internet.
This is off Obama's internet. All right. So types of companies Linux engineer work in. Employees with Linux engineer job title have their preferences when it comes to working for a company. For instance, most Linux engineers prefer to work at public companies over private companies. So education, public and private, right? Education don't pay. They don't pay enough. Private, and it depends on who you're going for there, and then public. Linux engineers by sector. I don't know why they got zero for government because that is so
I don't know why they have zero for government.
That's
Like,
why I said, who pulled
who
that?
put this together?
Who put that?
Who put this together?
All right,
Because the government is a huge
Huge.
enterprise.
huge,
Huge.
huge.
A huge enterprise. So I don't know. That's why you got to read and do your due diligence, people, because they're trying to tell you anything.
Yeah.
People are trying to tell you anything.
All right, Fortune 500 technology, finance, professional, and retail. This is top industries hiring Linux engineers. Put government on there. And I'm telling you what I know as a person who's hiring. All right, Linux engineers by industry. This is how they broke it out. Again, automotive, nonprofits, education, construction. They just keep talking about government 1%. Government probably, Red Hat probably owes government a lot. So this is an important piece right here that I really want to talk about. Linux engineer turnover and employment statistics. The Bureau of Labor Statistics came in the clutch when it came down to figuring out how the employment rate has changed over time between 2008 and 2018. This is how this is how the number of Linux engineer has changed. 5%, like you don't really lose your job, right? You're not really losing out. You're not losing. I go with the companies 1,000 and less because number one, I can keep up with the CTOs and the CEOs and so forth, and I have a direct relationship with them. Number one. Number two, I can get a feel for where we're going as a company. Number three, the character of people. and interaction with people. And then that's two. And then three, the benefits are usually a little better. The benefits are
I
usually
prefer this. I prefer the startup space with the same number of people. Unfortunately, the company that I work for is huge. It is huge, and the project that I'm on is even bigger. And they just did a merger, so it's my team is onshore and offshore. So we work in a two different time zones. So
Tammy, you said that the pay is way higher with a master's. I showed that it was 114. It was 114.
yeah, it depends on what your masters are. We are definitely big advocates for your jobs paying for your masters. Depends on what you have the masters in, but at the end of the day, whether you have no degree, a degree is, can you solve the problems? Can you communicate how to solve those problems effectively? Do you have some strategy if you don't know on how we can possibly solve this? Can you communicate that to your team, to another team, to non technical people? It's all about solving the problems. Like, here is about being the solution. And when you go into any interview, any space, when it comes to the tech, in the back of your mind is, how can I be the solution? They need me. You need me. I'm the solution.
All right. So the average number of years the Linux engineers stay in a job by looking over 569 Linux engineer resumes. We remember that they found 11,000. Right. We figured out that the average Linux engineer enjoys staying in a job for 1 to 2 years. Less than a year, it was around. That looks around about 37%. 1 to 2 years is the most. 11 years, most people are not staying in there that long, right? They're not staying in there. 3% stay that long. 1 to 2 years is the most, right? Less than a year, 33%, right? They're neck and neck. I got what I needed. I've been in the industry. I've added the skill. I'm out. We even have LGBT information as well too. When it comes to Linux engineers and other job titles, research and development internship, software development, Linux engineer, NOC, senior test engineer, computer programming, Linux engineer, LGBT demographics, computer programmer, 6.55% is 200,005 jobs. A senior test engineer, 7.66% of it, 245,000 jobs. And they just list out all the job openings that I guess are LGBT friendly, right? Foreign languages spoken, 100% Spanish. They probably interviewed one person and they got Spanish. And then they Linux engineer jobs, recently added engineer jobs, engineers by heat map. All right. So this one is start making a little bit more sense to me. The amount you can make as a Linux engineer can depend on where you live. For example, the highest salary of Linux engineers is 168,000. That sounds more reasonable to me, right? That sounds more reasonable. Use the chart to find out where the salary is located. So here we go look at this map, and let me pull this up. They're showing here the lowest are in these areas right here. These are things that where people are not really looking for at. And then as you can see, as you get darker, right here, this is where they're looking at. So when you got these dark ones right here, right, New York, we got more than likely the DMV area here. And then we see all of California and Washington State, right? We're talking about startups. You can even see Texas in
Mhm.
here, right? So when we're looking at this, and you can see Hawaii out here, I wanna I wanna highlight some things here. When I'm looking at this right here, up in this area right here, I'm looking. See right here, Prince County, for quar. 87 Culpeper, Stanford, Stratford, I mean King, Charles County. I'm looking at Arlington, Montgomery County. These are when I look at this, I'm just looking at you just got Linux skills. You don't have no automation skills. You don't have except for bash scripting. You don't have any cloud. These are just your basic Linux skills. You ain't got. You took the RHCSA and you took the RHCSE and that's all you got. That's what I'm looking at, right? These are just basic. And then when you get over in here, it goes up, right? You start going up. And you're gonna get more and more and more. You're gonna get when you start adding more skills, you're gonna get on, right? Right. All right. So then where are the Linux engineers located? Atlanta and Dallas, right? But you can see down here, we got Miami-Dade down here. We come over here, we got Hillsborough County, you got Seminole, Orange County. And then you gotta look at this cluster here. See, this is what I'm talking about. All right. Look at that cluster. Right. But I want you to notice something on this map. When you look at this map, what comes to mind for you when you're looking at this map? It's one thing that comes to mind for me. I just want to see if you can guess it.
Now repeat the first part of that question because I'm thinking military when I look
Yes.
at this map.
Yes.
Like these are all bases where they're strategically located after you took all this stuff off. So that's what I think. Is that what you think?
Yeah.
These are bases.
Yes. 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 So when I look at this, I'm like military driven, government driven here. I'm surprised they don't have a lot here, but we know West Virginia, we know there's the 75-mile corridor, tech corridor up there. We know it's nothing but tech there. What I'm surprised they don't show up out here is Idaho because it's a ton in Idaho.
But I mean, it is the government and a lot of stuff that you can't find. And based on some of the numbers, based on what they have for government being zero, I don't think they did their due diligence enough.
Yeah.
For that. I mean, they did.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this, and this is not no, hey, you're gonna go to jail for this, but government uses Linux. They use Red Hat. It is what it is, right? They use Ubuntu as well. They use Rancher, Kubernetes, GCP, AWS, Azure. They use them all. They even follow the CNCF cloud native model. So if you're looking for a project to get on there or whatnot, all I'm telling you is you can just stay a Linux admin, but I'm encouraging you to do more than just Linux administration. But I'm telling you as a foundation that it is plausible for you to do this. All right. D, go back. Where are Linux engineers in high demand? So here we go. The map changes now when you start looking at where they're at in high demand, right? You start seeing down here in the Panhandle. You start seeing over here. You start seeing here.
Still the base.
You still see Colorado. You still see New Mexico. You San Bernardino. All the way up. We even got up here in Maine, right? We got all over, right? So anywhere in this country, and I'm gonna tell you, you can work in Idaho as a Linux administrator because I get jobs from Boise, Idaho. I got some in my email the other day. You can work as a Linux administrator. So if you want to know where Linux can take you, United States wise, this is just a small surface because there's way more that you can do here. Internationally, I should pull up the international map and show you internationally where you can go work if you got Linux skills, right? And then they got another set of demographics here for Linux administrators and Linux sysadmins versus Linux engineers and so forth, right? So I hope you enjoyed this as to what it could be. I have not lied to you on anything. And then I was like, well, you know what? Let me add one more. I just looked this up just for shits and giggles. I just looked this up and I just like, what is the average salaries in the US? The average tech salaries in the U.S. jumped up to six figures in 2022, but almost half of the workers still feel underpaid. Salaries increased from 2021, with 22 average tech salary being about 104,000. So at a minimum, with your Linux cert, we know that you can make. I just proved that to you. We're coming back in. You know that you can make at least 100,000 at a minimum. The Dice report said jobs for IT management 151, for a software developer 120. And we also know that you can make 168,000 depending on location. But I'm gonna just throw out there on the line. I just know for a fact that you can make over 120. Throwing it out there. All right. So this report also includes a map of the U.S. tech hubs, how the average salary looks. They got Atlanta at 110, Austin 109, and so forth and so on. They go around the world, right? Around the United States. All right, right here in February, Amazon announced they will double the maximum base salary for corporate and tech employees from 160 to 350 in order to attract top candidates. Again, everybody puts out these different reports and so forth, right? I just giving you that. I think you all know about these tech salaries. I've shown you tech salaries. I brought to you today jobs. We did not go over conferences. I'll save conferences for next week because I wanted to go over conferences and scholarships and apprenticeships. I have a whole list of conferences, scholarships, apprenticeships that I again get a chance to get to. Let me make sure I got all the tech salary stuff and jobs out of here, so you know. Mm. Oh, well, this is important, but you already know this information. Companies are desperate. Come on now. Companies are desperate for cybersecurity workers. More than 700,000 positions need to be filled. So you add Linux and security, they go hand in hand. What do you think? You think you can get a job paying you about between 100 to 200? You don't think you won't fall in that range? Sure you will. But you don't have to believe me. You go out there and try for yourself. If you want to be at the help desk, you can work at the help desk. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you. So this is all right. This is my last one. I promise. Maybe. I just want to put you on the radar for this one. 189 Pakistanis received Fulbright scholarships for master's and PhD degrees in the United States. They got full rides for master's and PhD degrees. You asked me, can you fit into tech? You asked me, where do you fit at into tech? You asked me, is it worth your time? You asked me a lot of things. All I'm saying is 189 Pakistanis received Fulbright scholarships for master's and PhD degrees in the United States. Full rides. Just gonna leave that there. Just want to put that out there. April, you said so. I make $16 an hour. I noticed a job listing yesterday for a college intern starting at 30. Yeah, again, I don't. April, all I'm gonna say is the blueprint is Linux, security, cloud, Kubernetes, and automation tool. If you want to work in an apprenticeship program, I would look for that because some apprenticeship program, I know the one at Yale started off at 70,000, and so
We spoke about high schoolers making way more than that and hadn't even graduated
Yep.
based on
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
companies that we know that have given the internships to the
Yeah.
children of the company.
90,000. That's it. Yeah, 90,000. And help them go to school. 19-year-old in college making 30 to 45 an hour. You should feel some kind of way.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't have to be a 19-year-old junior.
Yeah. So that's why yeah, I wasn't a 19-year-old junior. So it was grown as hell. I was gonna say something
I
derogatory.
was too, but I was like, oh, yeah, oh.
This is a kid-friendly show. We are
No, it's
family.
not. No,
We
it's not. That is not the option I put on these videos.
are
Absolutely not. It is not
family
kid
oriented.
friendly. It's not. I'm telling you right now, that is not the option that I pushed in the back end. It's not kid
This is a
friendly.
kid-friendly show. We are not here talking about bust it open, bring it back. We are not doing it.
It's not kid friendly. We do not produce kid friendly content.
Oh, yes, we do. All right. I don't want you to miss this because I think the deadline coming up. Afrotech student scholarship is tomorrow, or go apply. I got to give you that one because that expires tomorrow. That expires tomorrow. So if you want to go to Afrotech, you are a student, go apply for that scholarship. It expires tomorrow. I will post all this stuff in.
I got a real quick thing about Afrotech.
No, they changed it. They changed it. They changed their model.
What?
They do tech now.
No, but what I was about to say is that a friend of mine, she happened to be in Oakland the time of Afrotech, and she was just like, they had took over Oakland. She said, I had the best partying time ever in Oakland. She said, I had a real good time. I said, what, no tech? And she was like, I don't know. Well, she said, what is that tech? She said, I like that. If that's tech. I said, that ain't tech. That was the after parties. Like
The after party.
that was the after
People,
party.
that's why I'm saying people get confused when I keep trying to tell y'all to go to the conferences because the parties is where it's at. Don't tell nobody else because that's what we do when we go to the tech conference. We go to the parties. We go to the parties afterwards. Oh,
I go to the sessions.
I said afterwards.
And I like the dinners, like the private dinners.
That's a party.
That's a private dinner.
That's
the
a
difference
party.
between a private dinner and a party.
That's the party. That's the part of the party. The private dinner is part of the party. It's on the way to the big one where you go and you got a live band concert, Ice Cube in concert. You in there rocking with the Cube.
Yeah, it was
All right.
Fangirl.
Yeah. So you in there rocking with Ice Cube, you in there
CubeCon. Ice CubeCon. Yes. It's fun. It's a good time now. I cannot lie. It is definitely a good time. You'll be totally exhausted.
Oh yeah, tech conference is a job.
They wipe you out.
You gotta learn how to go to a tech conference. You can't go to a tech conference and show up on the day of. You need to get there a couple of days before so you can do the pre-conference stuff, go tour the city, so forth, so on, especially if it's a city you ain't never been to. Then you gotta then you gotta get up early so you can catch the breakfast and the pancakes and the whatever, so you can get to the things. Then you got to know how to dip and dodge. Get your backpack, go around and get all your little stuff, all your things, win your prizes. Then you got to go and meet the peoples and stuff like that. Who's speaking? Oh, okay. What? Oh, they having a dinner tonight. Oh, okay. We there. Bit. We there. Oh, Dale having a dinner for their people. I went with Shadow Soft. Shout out to Shadow Soft. I was in California. I was in San Francisco with Shadowsoft, and they was like, you're one of our favorite customers. We want to invite you out. I was like, okay. And they was like, we're having a dinner at the restaurant. I showed up at the restaurant. I was like, I just want to get a glass of prosecco. They was like, why get a glass when you can have a bottle? I said, you're right. Who am I? Give me a bottle. What kind of bottles you got? What kind of prosecco y'all got?
Nothing but the best. It also depends on who sponsors you. Me and Tam, that just happens to be our strategy. We've had a few days before, if possible, a few days after the conference, because sometimes that's when we are able to get our breaks in between tasks. So we go, and it depends on where we go, but we do try to pad on a little bit of stuff for our conferences. But if it's a job sponsor, you might not be able to. I would have your job, try to send you to a tech conference first as well, so that you can still get paid and not have to take any time off, because you're not in the office. But if you're working for a company and they sponsor you to go, then you get paid and can go to the tech conference.
Yep. I think that's everything
But to
regarding
get a jump start for conferences, look at conferences in your city. They might not be week long, but they might be a day. They might be on the weekend. Look at local conferences to go to with, and something that you want to learn. May it be cybersecurity, is if it's a cloud, is it, a user group, is it the DevOps days? Like, look at something that's close first. But I mean, me and Tamika, we've been all over the world at tech conferences, and you
right.
can definitely punch some stamps on that passport at tech conferences.
All right, this is the last one. This one's for you.
For more?
Yeah, this one's for you.
Is it? Is that how you slid it in? That is for me?
It is.
Oh, okay.
All right. CAU, Clark Atlanta University becomes
So why is it for me?
Clark Atlanta
Because why? Because I'm alumni. I'm a Panther. I'm not to make a way because I'm an alumnus. Is that why?
Can I finish?
Is it? Is that why?
Yeah.
I didn't need it.
CAU becomes the first HBCU to get 10 million for their data science program. Now, I do have questions about why now, because there was a state movement about 5 years ago with State Farm, and State Farm collab with community colleges to set up a program where you would go and learn to become a data scientist at a community college. You do 2 years, you get on a scholarship, you get a full ride, and they will also paying you, and then you go off to a 4-year college to get your bachelor's degree. I'm just wondering why it's catching on now. I don't know, maybe because is Clark considered private or is it public?
It's private.
It's private.
All of them are private colleges.
Okay. Yeah. So that was it. That's all I had, D. I wanted to get that in for you. I'll say the scholarships for next week.
I mean, they're time based. So the scholarships are also posted in Slack. So in Slack, we have over 60 channels. So make sure that you go in there and add yourself to the scholarship channel in order to view these opportunities, because they are time based. You might have to write a blurb or two. You might have to answer some questions. They want to know that. You might have to volunteer for some stuff. Like, it might be a travel grant or something like that. Like, there's all different types, but don't break the bank.
So I got one more thing. I got one more question, Neon.
You have a question, or you have something on your screen?
No, I got a question. And you can see.
Is it for the people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the question?
The question is, did y'all feel overwhelmed with the info today? Was it too much, or did you get enough? Did you take notes? Anybody take notes? That was my question. Yeah, we ran long. I knew it was gonna be long today because I did a lot of research and I didn't even get through half of what I need to get through. And yeah. He's like a lot of info, but in a good way. Yep. Yeah. So I got more info. I'm putting together a mastermind class. I'll send you the notes. You're the last to know because I had to have my thoughts in there. Get my
Did
thoughts.
you hear that, y'all?
You're the last to know.
Say it again.
You're
For
the
the people in the
last.
back.
You always gonna be the last to know.
But I'm the first to what? I'm the
No,
last to know, but the first to what?
the first to go to sleep. What was that? Okay, cool. You want over?
And then this is recorded, so you can always play it back. You
Yeah,
can
that's
slow
what.
it down. You get the links. Thank you, India.
Thank you, India.
We appreciate it.
This is the thing. I want you to open your mind. I want you to open your mind. I want you to open your mind. I want you to think about the possibilities. That's what I want you to do. I want you to go beyond what you hear on TV, what you see on screen. And if it's something that I don't know, it's cool. I'm not mad at you because you know something that I don't know. I can't know everything. I can't. I try. I can't know everything. I can't have my hands on everything, but I do try to keep my hand on the pulse on what's going on in your city. So that's why it's important for you to drop your city and state and at least let us know where you're at because you don't know it may be somebody that may be looking to hiring in your city, and I'd be like, oh, such and such live over there. Let me connect them with such and such and such and such and such, right?
But you got to show up. We got to see you in the Slack, so that we know that you're around, that you're interested. Comment, even if you don't leave a comment, leave an emoji or something so that we know that you're looking at the information. Because we're not all the time in the back end running the reports. Even though we are here, we are two full-time people in tech. We are two technologists working full-time jobs in tech, maybe more than one at a time. So please give us the benefit of the doubt. Desi, again, welcome. You can definitely go back and catch previous episodes. They're all jam-packed with info. Go
Oh,
back and take a look at them.
let me give this shout out to Ali Boo. Ali Boo, I appreciate you because you'll be looking at these videos faithfully on the replay and commenting in the actual comment section on the videos. I can know I can count on a comment for you, casual economist, from the corner to the kernel. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone for what they do when they comment. It's super important when you comment because it lets me know whether or not you understood it. Right? When we don't understand it, I'm just gonna keep going. The assumption is you understood it, you got it, and I'm gonna keep moving. But if it's something we need to focus in on, and you say, "Yeah, I want to focus in on," I want you to focus in on that. That helps me kind of drill into it. So we hear people coming in from a health scientist perspective. So I'm gonna do a lot more with health scientists and music and non-technical stuff, probably in the next coming weeks. But showing you how to make that transition, showing you what opportunities out there, how to gain those opportunities. I'm just gonna put it all out there as much as I can. But we still technical over here, so I can't be too non-technical, right?
And show up on a Wednesday. Sometimes you can get into a Wednesday meetup and it might sound like wah, 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 but speak up about what it is that you don't understand or where you're at. Are you new? Are you seasoned? Are you already in tech looking to, do a shift? Let us know these things and ask questions. It's an interactive meetup. We might not all be on the screen at one time, but it's an interactive space. That's what we're there for. Because it's in the evening, you might have a lot of stuff going on in the background. That's why you're not on camera. I know I'm just hopping out of work. Tam is just hopping out of work. And so I'm always going to say, you guys are the community. You drive the conversation. If there's no conversation, we're going to run the boat. So we're going to steer it where it needs to go. So you are, you're welcome. You're welcome to share your thoughts, have some topics for us. It's a springboard. If you have a topic that you want to share, set up a time to come and check it out. Check it out. Check it out. So there's so many things. Somebody asked about entry roles in the tech. We don't really push entry into tech because most people are already working in a particular field. So we teach you how to basically add on to your existing skills so you don't have to have an entry level job so that you can meet somewhere in the middle. So we never want to say you don't know anything. How do your skills that you have now transfer over into in the tech field and, being able to communicate that. So levels.
Mm-hmm.
Tam is looking for something else to share. You got anything else, home team?
No. When people be responding to me on in the YouTube space, that should be funny to me. But the one that for me was something
But you can't stay out of those YouTube streets.
Because I be looking up information.
Okay.
That's why. And when I take my break, I go and look at some stuff and I be like, oh.
I mean, on Obama's web and the YouTube streets is two different places.
They both the same for me. So I'll be on LinkedIn, I'm on Blind, I'm on whatever the case may be. I'm everywhere.
Daddy Christian says she saw you in the YouTube streets. I bet you did see her in the new. I can't get her out them YouTube streets.
She saw me. She
stay in the YouTube.
I replied to her. I replied. Did you get my?
It's her happy place. The YouTube streets are her happy place.
No, this is what it is. So when I'm searching for information, I hit a business journal, I hit up news articles. I go on YouTube to see if somebody is talking about it, and then if they say they wrote a book, then I go look at their book, and then I see if they co-authored with somebody. So then I go over to Kindle, then I go to Amazon. And then I go back over to my stuff, and so I'm all these places. And when I get tired of all that, when I get tired of it, I'm for the YouTube street. Right?
She y'all be in the YouTube.
So then I get tired. Then I go look at. Then I go like, oh, who did I subscribe to? Somebody came up with something. Let me go look at them. And then I go look at them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this was recommended." And I'm like, I don't want to see that
because I be in the YouTube streets. But what I would come up on my search and what come up on your search is two different things. Because YouTube is a search engine. It's one of the biggest search engines. You go find anything you need in video form on the YouTube. YouTube streets got me one time, and I ain't been back. I ain't looked back. I can't do it. It's not for the D. I'm tapped out. Can't do this. Melody Miriam says she loved them YouTube streets. I can't do it. It is not my calling.
It'd be funny to me.
I know you love it.
Like I told you this morning, like the guys were talking about what's the total income if a man make 200,000 and the woman make 100,000, and the women were like,
she asked me that first thing in the morning. That was her question.
Yeah, and the men.
And what was my answer?
200,000, and the men.
No, what I said was, your money is our money, and my money is my money. It's the money they from.
But here's my thing. The answer that the women on that panel said that they was like, it's 200,000. And the men were like, oh, why?
My money don't matter.
Why?
It don't matter, remember?
But here's my thing with all of this drama is, why do y'all keep pushing the fact that women money don't matter? If you say her money don't matter, then it is 200,000. And so I always had the question is, if you meet your woman and she's okay and you make 200,000 and she making 600,000, the household income is 200,000, right? Because that's what y'all keep pushing. I'm just saying. No, you ain't. No, April. That's the problem right there. You keep saying we on step 20. That's step 1. That's step one. Understanding tax planning and understanding understanding like when if you get a job, if you get a job that's paying you 100,000, how do you not get taxed so heavily, right? That's still step one, right? So having a tax strategy, having a plan to make more money, putting things in place so you can make more money and so that money doesn't go to the government. That's what that is.
And then we also are big advocates are investing at your salary level. Like even if you put a little something away, learn how to save. You should be taking, I don't care how much you make, you should be putting 20% away for yourself, and that should be helping motivate you to get to the next level and the next level, no matter how much you make. If you
Mhm.
can't go buy houses, go to one of those crowdfunding platforms like Fundrise or Funding Grow. Not Funding Grow. What do I use?
Sunrise, ground floor.
Ground Floor, and put a couple of dollars on something. Own a piece of something. You can do
Arise.
something. If you can go buy Starbucks, if you got cable TV, if you got a whole bunch of subscriptions, you can
Get a
reroute that
get an,
money to
get an
something that's gonna
account
make you some money. You can buy stocks on Cash App. You can
with
buy crypto on Cash App.
Fidelity. You can go Fidelity or Charles Schwab. You don't have to buy a whole stock. You could DCA your way in. It's only
hmm
$5. So you can buy
If you got to get your
$5
hair done every week, take that money and put it on something else. That hair is expensive.
Yep, you can buy $5 worth of Amazon stock. You can buy $5 worth of that's step one.
Fractionals.
That's step one. DCA, dollar cost averaging. You can dollar cost average your way into a stock. You don't have to go spend $2,500 on a whole stock. DCA your way into a stock.
Sign up for a Webull account. Start off with some of that free stock.
Yep.
Put something on something. Start something today.
Yep. You buy fractionals. You and then on Charles Schwab they're called slices. You can get I was looking the other day at Betterment. I'm going to explore them a little bit. You can if you got a HSA, you can invest in your HSA. Dollar cost averaging like so at one point in time Amazon stock was like $2,500. So you may not be able to buy that one share of Amazon, but you can buy $5 worth. So what I do is because what happens with dollar cost averaging is you get to the point where you're reinvesting the dividend the drip model, right? And you keep buying the stock $5 in the stock to the point where you can buy one share, right? Till you get one share, and that stock split come up like the 3-to-1 stock split that's coming up for Tesla. Now you may have one share, it's split. Now you got three shares of Tesla, and you keep going, and you let that build up over time. Again, long term planning, 10-year plan, 20-year plan, 30-year plan, not 2 or 3 years. If it's short term, like we saw earlier, it's 3 years, right? Remember, tax now, tax deferred, tax free. You got to be thinking about this. You're putting yourself in a position not to think about this, and I'm telling you, I don't care where you at, you need to think about it now, right? You need to
I
think
gotta
about.
buy my iBonds.
Yep. Yep.
And Lord knows I want a new cabinet for my room. Like I got it picked out and everything, but I'm just like that money that I'm spending on that, I can just hold out for a little bit and put that money in my iBonds.
I'm with,
I'm just like,
with you. Yep. So again, when we're looking and thinking about this, I'm looking in and thinking from a perspective that if you are in tech and you just a beginner, here's the information you need to know. Here's how you need to set up your strategy, your tax strategy, how to set up your investment strategy, how to set up your retirement strategy. So when you get here, you have those things already in place, and then not trying to learn it. Because it's now you've missed out on investing, you missed out on the run, you've missed out on the recovery, you've missed out on all these things because you're like, I don't have the money to do it, but you do. You do. If $5, if you can't put away $5, $10 a month, what you work for? $10 a month. You can't put away $10 a month. $10 a month. Start there. $10 a month. You're gonna earn over time. Get the money, but you got to get in the game so you can get the money working for you. And if you invest in it and you only invest in $10, start with a blue chip company. I've gone over this before. Start with aristocrats and kings. Those are companies that have been returning increasing dividends for 25 and 50 years, right? They've been returning increasing dividends for 25 to 50 years. We call them blue chip. Stay in that lane. It's safe. Put $5 on Coca-Cola, $5 on Microsoft,
Man, all
$5
this pie
on
talking
Apple.
got me thinking about pizza.
Yeah. Again, aristocrats and kings, right? Increasing dividends over 25 to 50 years. When you start looking at that, like, oh, what companies having, go look up the list of aristocrats, go look up the list of kings, and pick you two companies and put $5 on them today. $5 here, $5 there. If you don't have a Fidelity or a Charles Schwab account, go create one. Charles Schwab and Fidelity all have continuous learning classes right on the platform. So you can be like, oh, what is this alpha? What is this Greek? What does this mean? What does all of that mean? I have my book up here. Oh, no, that's not it. I have my book with trading on, it's down there on the floor. But again, $5. Start with $5. Find companies. I don't care if you invest $100 and you take that $100 and split them up 5 different ways, or you take that $100 and put them in one, or you take $50 and do here and $25 to do there. Invest in the companies. Get you a little nice little nest egg going on where you're like $5, $5 foot long.
You buy you some crypto in there and shoot. But
Yeah.
how you like $100? If it's $100, your profit, snatch it out. Invest that on something else.
Yeah.
Profit,
Take
snatch it out. That's what it's like.
Reinvest. So, but understand when you're doing that, you're looking at capital gains. So that's why I say reinvest, right? Do your reinvestment. Like, again, this is not financial advice. This is just an easy strategy for you to get started. Five to $10 a month. But while you're doing that $5 to $10 a month, make sure you're adding skills. Make sure you add in the skill set. Make sure you understand what your foundation is. Make sure what your plan is. You got a lot of homework to do. Everybody in here got a lot of homework to do. But what I'm simply saying is, I'm just giving you some thoughts and tools to get you started. Right? Thoughts and tools are one. You need skill sets. You need to earn money. Right? You need to earn money. So now the question is, well, how in the hell am I going to earn money to make it? Skills? Skills are going to get you there. What are those skills? Linux, cloud, pick a cloud, security, Kubernetes, DevSecOps, cyber. Those things are foundational to me. And when I say foundational to me, meaning the foundational skills that you can have now and you can take and run anywhere. I just showed you the whole Linux engineer places where you could work with Linux. I showed you where you could work at Publix as a Linux engineer or a cloud engineer. You can work at Coca-Cola, you could work at Pepsi, you could work at a beer company. All the Fortune 500 companies have a tech stack and they need Linux people. I kid you not. I showed you the different locations of where you can go get Linux jobs at. Those are not the only ones, but they're the most popular ones, right? So again, when we're looking at this, I want you to understand what your options are. You need to start looking at, you need to focus on like, okay, and this is what I did, and this is a show coming out about this. I knew when I started working with Linux, I had a goal in my mind. I said to myself, and it was a personal goal for me. I said, I ain't never known nobody in my family make over $100,000. I'm gonna make over $100,000. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and figure out how to make $100,000. And I made it my business to go make over 100,000. Like I had to get there. I was hungry. I had to get there. What I need to do? What more skills you looking for? Oh, what they talking about in this interview? Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna go look that up. So when the next interview come, I know it. Right. Right. So then and then once you get over that 100,000, you be like, is this it? This it? This what I did all the work for? Is there more? And then you start seeing jobs 300, 400, 500, 2 million, a million, 1.5 million. Then you were like, wait a minute, what are they doing? Let me go figure that out. Let me look at that. Let me see what that is. All right. So, but don't get stuck with like you're talking about tax strategies and plans. That ain't for me. Well, it can be for you. If you live in an apartment, they already talked about you got 14 days for the Augusta rule where you can rent your apartment out for 14 days and keep the money, but be a part of your tax strategy, right? I showed you that. You can go look that up. You can go talk to a CPA or an enrolled agent about it and understand how that fits into your lifestyle and whatever the case may be. But again, I'm just talking about let's be proactive as to why we're talking about things, right? Especially when and see, and this is I'm about to go there. It's messy. This when
You
it
telling
comes.
me cover my ears.
Yes, come here.
That's what you telling me cover my
Yeah.
ears.
This where the problem comes in at because I and let me pull this thing back in. This is where the problem comes in at when we start talking about dating, right? And what I'm simply saying is this: we got a group of women over here and we got a group of men over here. We got a group of women over here that's like, well, I don't really have nothing. I don't really have no money. And we got a group of men over here like, I ain't got much, but what I do have, I really don't want to give it up. And so we over here and we're like fighting to control the resources that we do have and the leverage that we do have in our lives. And what I'm simply saying is, well, you can relinquish that stress because it's stress and put it into an estate and start doing some planning and protect what you're trying to build and protect what you're trying to put in place. So when you go out here and date and understand the rules that you have put in place for yourself, and when y'all meet up, it ain't none of that. It ain't none of that bickering and fighting, right? You want you're trying to leverage, again, men have their thoughts, women have their thoughts. Both of y'all are saying the same damn thing. You're trying to leverage some resources and put them together to combine to go do something else, whether it's her egg, whether it's his money. You're trying to leverage some resources to come together to do something. And what I'm saying is this: stop worrying about all of that and arguing over it. Put protections in place and then come together. Get your debt together. Get your debt together. If you got a house and you got a house, put that in a trust, put that in an estate, whatever the case may be. Then when y'all get together, you like, well, you ain't gonna take my house. I ain't moving into your house. You ain't moving into my house. We're gonna get a new house. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard, and we go back and forth over this, and we argue about over. We really be arguing about over who gonna be the brokest together. Like, and it don't make sense to me. I'm telling you, get these skills. I'm telling you, you can work from home. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and you got some Linux skills and you want to bring in some income for your family, you could do the same thing. You could do that. You could write blogs. You could write technical blogs. You could be on a travel team. You could be a sales engineer and still stay at home and raise your kids and still be a part of that. He could do the same thing too. But we so busy being caught up. And there's a reason why I pointed out 10.3% of Linux engineers are Asians, but they make the most money? Come on. We're over here arguing about pennies. We're arguing about pennies. We deny ourselves pleasures for so long and luxuries for so long that we don't even know what that looks like no more. So when we see someone else has it, the first thing that comes to mind is they're a scammer, or she went and had sex for that, or, and these are my favorite ones for me. When I got divorced and I moved to Florida and I came down in that Ford Explorer, and then I went and bought my first Mercedes, the first thing that came out of everybody's mouth in that apartment complex that I knew, besides my trainer, they were like, "You must be getting alimony from your husband. You taking his money. You don't move down here. You living good. You taking his money and you living off of his stuff." And they asked me that, and I was like, I didn't get shit. I told him to keep every damn thing. In fact, here your grandmama pearls. But the assumption is that is taking somebody's stuff to go forward in their life, and they're leaving this person behind.
But
And I'm
it's
saying you can
crazy
protect
how that
yourself.
goes, though. It's so crazy because I was in Atlanta and I was out one night. This when I moved back to Atlanta, and I had that Range Rover, and I was going to my car, and this guy passed me. He was like, "Oh, somebody's, you must be good. Somebody's good to you." I didn't say one word. And this group of dudes walked by, and he was like, "This Atlanta." He was like, "This is Atlanta. They doing it. Like, what you talking about?" And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't get that. Like, that's why I'm being these YouTube streets, because I'll be perplexed. What y'all talking about?
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying is this: DCA your way into these stocks, set up a plan for yourself, a strategy. And I'm giving you this from a person who didn't have this knowledge when I started making my money. I didn't know what a tax strategy was. I didn't know what a plan was. I just know I went up, I got up, I went to work, I made some money, I paid my bills. I had some money left over that I could go to Nordstrom's and get me some makeup, I could get me some clothes, and I could do some things. If I had the knowledge that I got now, I wouldn't have went to Nordstrom's and bought no makeup. I wouldn't have did. I wouldn't have did that. I would have been like, Mac, you can skip me. NARS, all y'all can skip me. Y'all can skip me. I'm good on that. I'm about to go over here and DCA my way into this into this stock. But I did that when I moved to DC. I did invest in stocks when I moved to DC. I invested in Google, Amazon, Clorox decades ago, right? But if I would have known when I first started my journey 5 years before that, when I first got my first job, I would have been like, oh, that's what that is. So what I'm telling you is, before you even really get your big jobs, start now. Teach yourself
Create
the
habits.
discipline now.
Create habits.
Create habits now. So that way, when you do start making more money, you're just investing into what you already know that works. You already have a plan that works. You already seen it. And when you get there to the end, when you get to the 200,000, the 500,000, the 600,000, you like, I need to implement some more strategies. I'm fully aware of some things that I may need to do, but I don't know how to really implement them. But I know who I need to contact. I need to call an enrolled agent or a tax strategist. Let me go do that. I do realize I need insurance outside of my job. I know how to do that. I know how to get that set up. You start having these things in your head now. So when you get there, you're just like, it comes out and it's automatic pay and you on your way.
Mm-hmm. And using your resources within your job in order to get you there. My
Yep.
sister worked for the state of California. She used the state of California to help her get her first house.
Yep.
You got to know how to look. You got to know how to ask your questions. You got to go turn over those rocks.
Speaking of houses, that's what some of the companies do have. They do have real estate agents when you're relocating to help you find a house and advocate on your behalf. They do have people in place. They do have people in place to help you figure that out, to help you sell your house in your location or get it rented out. They do have that. So you have to find those companies and ask those questions. Like, so I need help with getting my house rented out. What does that look like? Do y'all have somebody? Oh yeah, we got a division. Let me talk to my real estate team people and see what they got, what we can help set up, just that, and the other. And that may cost you a little something, but at least the option is there.
Even with your $16 job, see what type of resources that company have. I don't know how big or how small, but start asking questions. Start asking questions like, I saw this and I don't want to how do I get here from this job? I know I'm here and I've learned a lot, but I'm interested in this. How do I get there? Can you help me get there? Point me in the right direction.
And FYI, Target is paying $24 an hour. And Target also has an IT security team. They're big and they speak at conferences all the time. So every place like Publix, Kroger, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Big Lots,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, they all have IT departments and they're all hiring.
Every company got an IT department. Every company is a company. They got different departments. Tech is a department.
Yeah. So
it's not just that guy sitting in the closet down the street, down the hallway.
Yeah. So look at those companies that you're with already and start looking to see if you can roll into an apprentice program. Home Depot has an apprentice program where they go get their people right off the floor and be like, you want to come over here and work for this and start learning. And they start their apprenticeships at most of the apprenticeships I've seen start at 65, 70,000. That's not bad for you to start out with and then turn it to a full-time job and then you increase. Right? So you may go 60 or 70,000 for a year and then you get on with them full-time and it may be 85,000 a year. Next thing you know, you're going from 85 to 95 or 100. You may go from 85 to 100. You may go from 85 to 120, depending on the skill sets that you add. You may go from 120 to 175, right? You can go from 120 to 200, depending on your skill set. So it may take you a year. It may take you 2. It may take you 3. It may take you 4. It may take you 5. But if you don't ever start, it ain't gonna take you nowhere because you ain't never start. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid for new things. Welcome new things in your life. It's okay. It's okay to talk about money. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay to talk about, okay, this is what I'm thinking about for my journey. It's all right. But what you're not gonna do is not talk about your journey. What you're not gonna do is keep sitting in the same position. Don't be in the same position for 5 and 6 years, taking 3 to 5% pay raises, and everybody coming in with you is getting paid based on inflation. But you've been sitting there for 3 to 5 years, making that 3 to 5%, and they coming in. They're like, we accounted for inflation because you're our new person. So you've been there and you made 130,000. They give you 135,000, but the new person coming in at 150. You know how long it's going to take you to go from 135 to 150 at 3 to 5% a year? You do better leaving the company. And that's another thing. Y'all be scared to leave. You know why? Because you don't have no skills and you ain't got no faith in yourself. Y'all be scared to leave a company. Oh, like my mom be I can't leave this good government contracting job. Oh, I can't leave this good government job. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, the Hispanics and the Asians that came through and blew up the place, and they got 240,000. You still over there on 90. How they do that? They didn't think about me? Nope, they didn't. $5 foot long.
Stop saying that, for they want some money.
All right, people. It's been real. You all have fun. Only thing I can tell you is don't be your own demise.
Make yourself a little uncomfortable. Change is good. Have a plan. Take calculated risk. But make some plans. Or while you at that job, be skilling up. Be skilling up. Prepare yourself.
Rule of thumb: if you go to work and you bored every day and you watching Instagram on every day, that's your fault. You should have been studying. Anytime I'm bored at a job, I go enroll myself into a certificate class. I do it quickly. Oh, I'm bored. Oh, certificate class time it is. That means I need to skill up so I can keep it moving. It's time to roll. But I'm finna go out with a bang. I got a new skill. Boom, bam. I'm out. All right, D Block. It's been real.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll see. We expect to see a lot of these new faces on Wednesday. Come out, check us out. We appreciate you.